Good evening, welcome to Fantastic Dimensions. This is session 2 of our Rogues to Riches campaign. So, pick right back up pretty much where we left off. I know, Philip, you were just saying before I started the broadcast that there was something you wanted to do the night before your departure with the merchants upriver to Karlstadt. So, what would that be?
Well, in confidence, I wanted to approach Albin Trish since he evidently speaks the German. He is that young linguist that traveled with us, the one that almost got us killed by cocking a crossbow in the background.
I knew what I was doing.
Anyways, so in confidence, without anybody else around, I wanted to say, Albin, I'm thinking it would be quite difficult to kill possibly witches or whatever, and may our souls be damned if we do. But what if we could make this money easily by convincing him that we killed them? And by doing that, I would think that we would be best aided if we convinced them to convince him that we killed them, seeing as how an entire army is headed towards their precious city that they don't want any more war just because of their existence. If we could convince all parties involved that they were taken care of, we would be rich and the war would be stopped as far as they're concerned. If nothing else, I'd be willing to even, and I whisper very quietly, help them take over Würzburg if they wanted to. But to do that, I realized I would have to give up my precious pistols and go in unarmed and sincerely address such. But I do not speak the language. That is where I would need you. Should you be willing? Otherwise, I'll shoot you. I mean, I could kill you now.
The thing is, that sounds really, really difficult. If the entire town is bewitched, the Duke's going to have to be convinced that the entire town isn't bewitched anymore.
Yes, they would have to actually go into hiding.
Also, he's going to want some kind of evidence that they've been killed.
There's plenty of women around to kill. So this is my thought. If they are sincere in their desire for peace, then they would be willing to go to ground to avoid war. But
reasonable.
If they are truly evil, they would have no qualms about killing other women and to take their place to convince such. Also, if they are evil or power hungry, they would be willing to take over Würzburg as a more defensible position.
Well, first I should say, if they are evil, they won't have any problem stabbing us in the back as well. Additionally, I don't know how we would help them take over Würzburg.
Well, we would bring them in as if they were dead. Or captives. But it would require us to also convince our party member who is most set on killing all witches, as he would be the most convincing.
It's true. I think we should talk to him.
Oh, well, we couldn't let him in on the plan. He would just try to kill them.
So what are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that we, and I seem to feel that Diggory as well was not so keen on those other women being killed. He seemed a bit pale by that waste of humans. But
waste.
But I was thinking that as scouts, as stealthy agents, you and I, we could convince them that we should scout ahead to see how the city is, and then approach these witches with this deal.
sounds like a really good way to get captured and fuck everything up. I don't know.
Well, sleep on it. We'll talk in the morning.
Sounds good.
Well, we know Albin has no trouble sleeping at night.
Clean conscience.
Okay. Any more clandestine meetings or underhanded roguishness to happen the night before?
Only if that serving girl I gave the hairy eyeball to decides to swing by for a little. Yeah, that's about it.
Jasper's quite the womanizer, is he? What's your charisma?
Oh, it's not great. It's only 11. Normal.
Yeah. Give me the D20 roll.
18.
I actually have it here. Nope.
Okay. Oh well, not gonna worry about it too much. Get to play the old hack and sack earlier today, anyways.
I forgot I've got all your character sheets right here. Yep. Cool. Okay. So then you will all be roused by one of the Prince Bishop's men at the ridiculous hour of 4 o'clock in the morning, and to prepare yourselves for travel, as the boat will be leaving from Würzburg in an hour.
Francis is clearly upset by the hour of their waking, and he has dark circles under his eyes. He looks like someone who's used to getting a more comfortable amount of sleep, and he's making no bones about hiding it. He's this is ridiculous. It's far too early in the morning. We shouldn't be. You can't expect a man to travel without rest.
You had those same complaints on the boat, I recall.
Well, at least with the sea rocking me, I could get a little bit of sleep.
The early bird, my friend, the early bird is catching the worm.
But the early worm gets eaten.
Francis will kind of lean in to try to escape the ear of the guards. I'm slightly worried that we are the worm being used to reel in something from Karlstadt.
I have thought that myself.
Well, it just seems obvious that we're being sent on this mission partly because we're expendable in the eyes of the Prince Bishop.
Absolutely.
Really?
And would he truly honor his bargain with us? Or just simply use his power to hang us as conspirators? Can he really be trusted?
Well, I would say that I don't see any reason why he'd, even if we are successful, that he'd give us the reward promised when he could quite so easily avoid it, to keep the money for himself to finance whatever war effort and such like are ongoing.
I mean, I don't like to be a trusting man, but I will say it's a tempting enough offer that I have to look twice at it. It does seem fishy, but it may be a valuable expenditure if it does end the war or at least end the threat of these witches.
Mm-hmm. I can see him thinking such, but to trust some unknown people, it seems more like he's just throwing a dart blindly, hoping that maybe we get one or two of them.
The Prince Bishop is an honorable man, and he will honor all agreements that he makes, especially with good Christians such as yourselves, gentlemen, the seneschal says as he walks around the corner.
Always remember, we are going to kill witches, so if we die there, the gates to heaven are wide open for us.
Yes, indeed. You have the speech of a holy man.
No, it's I'm just a good Christian man.
Yes, indeed. Well, I can, although you have no reason per se to trust me, I can tell you honestly that the Prince Bishop is an honorable man, and he has always been fair and honest in all of the years that I have known him. Of course, as he's saying this, Valdison, Jasper, and Francis really don't know what the hell he's saying because he's speaking in German.
And myself.
Yeah, Valdison. I said your name first.
Because, oh yeah, I only speak in English.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, guys, don't forget on your character sheets to mark down languages that you don't speak as well as the ones you do speak. I think somebody here
Have done.
had not done so.
No, Hebrew.
So you had failed to roll German, right, Philip? But you do
Right.
speak Hebrew, right?
Right. Crazy.
That's cool. Okay, it works. Albin, I think Albans are down. Yep, Albans are down. Marius is down.
German.
That might be everybody then. So let's see. Jasper. Yep. Francis is not. Francis does not speak German, right?
Correct.
But he does speak English. He is English. So, okay. And I think degrees are marked down. Yep, they are. Cool. Okay, cool. I got that all up to date. So, yeah. Anyway, apologies for that little out of character moment. Have you everything prepared? The cart and donkey are awaiting you by the docks. Or do you need any assistance? Should I have some men come to help you carry your things to it?
Well, I don't know about the rest of you, but I think I'll be all right with my equipment, such as it is.
Same.
I have everything I need. I have everything I need.
Very well. Well then, gentlemen, if you will follow me, I will lead you down to the fortress's dock area.
Very good.
All right.
You will have the honor of loading up before the merchants even, since they are in the town general.
Very good.
So he leads you.
Good.
He leads you through the fortress and then outside and down to where the kind of river or stream, whatever be a river. Yeah, the river kind of flows by, and there is a pretty good sized river boat there. In fact, let me double check the size of the river boat because there might be two. I just want to double check real quick. Water conditions, maritime, river boats. Yeah, there'd be two. Two river boats.
Okay.
And you are instructed to load yourselves up onto one of them. Basically, you'll have one river boat for your purposes, and there'll be another one for the merchants.
Check it over, make sure everything's all up to snuff.
Yep, there are about 16 men aboard.
Mhm.
That's the required operational crew level for it.
Excellent, excellent. Sure the jibs are jibs and
They're all wearing the imperial uniforms, the imperial colors, the gold and it's mostly gold and black. There's a little bit of red as well, I believe. Is that right, Jens?
I'm sorry.
I think that's right. Imperial colors for the Holy Roman Empire: gold, red, and black, isn't it?
Ooh, no.
Isn't that?
No, I don't think so.
Or is it gold, red, and white? Gold, black,
Yeah.
and white.
Black, white, red. Yeah.
Black, white, red. Yeah, okay. I think I have a picture of it. I have some pictures here somewhere. I just can't remember where they are. Yeah. Anyway. Here it is.
Does anybody know how close the Swiss are
Gold,
at this point?
red.
Really, gold, red?
Gold and red. Anyway, that's what this guy's wearing in this picture. Yeah, the Swedes are wearing gold and
Interesting.
blue, and this guy's wearing gold and red. He's got. Oh, that's shadow. That's why I thought it was black, partially black.
I just looked up the flag. The flag is like a two-headed black bird with like red, with a lot of red accents on a golden field.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that kind of makes sense. Black,
Yeah.
red, and gold.
Most of my experience with the Holy Roman Empire goes back to my days of playing medieval Total War. So.
And there it's black, yellow, and black mostly.
Yeah. Anyway, so they're wearing their imperial uniforms. Well, as the uniform pertains to sailors, anyway. I'm just not like they're not wearing any kind of armor or anything of that sort. Wouldn't make sense. And they would advise you as well when you're boarding, especially those of you with chainmail. They would advise you not to wear your armor on the boat. I mean, you can if you wish, but
no.
Should the worst happen,
no. Once I get on board, I'm gonna unbuckle it and stuff it in my backpack.
Swimming in heavy armor is basically impossible. If you have chainmail or plate mail on, and you end up in the water, you drown. In deep water, you drown. And it takes like 10 minutes at least to change out of it. So yeah, you drown.
Yeah, even though he's only wearing leather, Francis will doff his armor and put it on the cart with on the donkey cart.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I'll leave my shield in the cart too and just carry my sword with me. But have it in easy reach in case I need to grab it.
Sure. Now, the
I wanted to approach Albin and say, is there any news of how close the Swiss is?
I don't know. I'll ask one of the boatsmen if they've heard anything. I'll ask him in German.
Oh, as far as the Swedish, how far away they're? Right.
Adolphus's people. Army.
They're expected within the week, perhaps 6 days.
Maybe. Check right here. 6 days from
now.
Karlstadt?
Yes.
Okay.
And time is short, and we should make way.
So we are on the 9th, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right, I had notes.
If you're talking Ian, I can't hear you.
Uh-oh.
No, he muted himself.
I gave myself the double mute and didn't realize it. I muted my headset and my computer at the same time. Sorry. So, yeah, it's about 5 a.m. when you're setting out. And I'm just looking real quick. I'm just trying to guesstimate about how long it would take a riverboat to travel. If we go back here to our map. Right. So, what did we say it was? About 12 miles, something like that, from Würzburg to Karlstadt on the river.
Take longer going to there than coming back, also because of
course, yeah.
current.
Miles per day is here. Really? That seems really pessimistic. That a riverboat could only travel 24 miles in a day? That's slower than like walking, or the same speed as walking. No, I think that's silly. I think it's going to be faster than that.
Are we? Wait. Yeah, are we not going upriver?
You are, but still.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if it would be faster to walk, why would you take the boat in the first place?
Makes sense. We're in Zellingen, you said?
No, you're in Würzburg.
Würzburg, right.
You started off in Zellingen.
That's right.
Oh, there's less chance of piracy and such, but...
I suppose. But I'm going to say that it will take 6 hours. That's about 4 miles an hour, right? No, that's 2 miles an hour. Actually, 6 hours to go 12 miles. All right, no, we'll go with 4 mile an hour speed, which isn't super fast, but so we'll say you get there in about 3 hours. So you'll be getting there in the morning, about 8 a.m. ish. Little after, because you got to stop and load up the merchants as well on your way out of the fortress. Sound good?
Sounds good.
We have an accord. So the merchants load onto the other riverboat. So you guys have your own kind of private riverboat for the purposes of this this journey. With the exception, of course, of the Prince Bishop's crew. And as you get to the refugee camp, so the you're actually quite surprised at the size of this camp as you're arriving up the river. And let me switch my map again too, so you can see. Yeah, there's a little map of Karlstadt. You'll be coming from the south, and I've turned this map sideways because I wanted north to be up. So you can see the size of Karlstadt. Now that was before the current situation anyway. A small city, a town of 1,500 people. The refugee camp, you can see, is quite extensive across the river there. You can see all the makeshift homes, tents, and such. There are about maybe a few thousand people in the refugee camp, you reckon, and you can smell it before you see it as you're coming up river. You'll see basically makeshift shelters and homes made from like overturned carts and wagons and things of that sort, with like blankets or even bits of clothing kind of draped out to try and give a little bit of privacy and stuff. There are a lot of families here. There's a lot of children. Everybody is filthy. Everyone looks hungry and malnourished. Nobody looks healthy. As you can imagine, it's living in a refugee camp isn't good for one's color. And as the boat will pull up to the little docks they have there, as you can see, little docking areas. They'll kind of, the riverboats will pass under the bridge, over to the other side of the bridge and pull up there where the little makeshift docks are. There are also docks on the other side. You can see on the city side, which are also pretty makeshift. They look like rather recent construction. And as you're passing the bridge, you'll also notice the bridge is quite cluttered. It's basically, there's, again, carts and wagons and stuff parked on it, kind of blocking off good portions of it. And you'll see people standing there as well that have the look of guards, although they don't seem to have any weapons on them. And they're wearing, let me see here. I have, where's the bit about these guys? Ah, yes. So these guards are wearing kind of like white colored uniforms, although they're not necessarily very clean either. So they're not exactly pearly, shiny white anymore, if you will. But they have these kind of white capes and coats on with masks tied up around their faces. You don't know if that's for appearance's sake or if that's actually for health's sake per se. And they also have like little kind of they don't really have helmets. It's more like almost like a turban, basically. It's not literally a turban, but I think I can even show you a little bit of what one of these guys looks like if I do this. This would be a real quick little, just give you an idea as to what the guards around Karlstadt look like. There you go. That's one of them. Ignore the bits of text there. It's not important. Nothing, I don't think, to spoil anything there. But yeah, that's the kind of appearance of them. Without the flag. They're not carrying the flag per se as they're standing up there. Although you might actually see one of those flags posted on the bridge.
And do they have those
Okay.
signs
sorry, go
on
on.
the front of them? Does
The,
that say something?
The signs? No, that's like a little flag. It's of a white dove.
No,
No, I
I
think
mean on its chest.
The one
Sorry.
round his neck, the plaque thing.
Oh, what does that say? Sorry, my image is reversed. Let me just take this off real quick because once I start moving around my PDF, things are going to get spoiled. Oh, zoom in.
Can you have some of that medicine?
Just trying to see what it actually says.
It's up by the.
Actually, really, I legitimately can't read it.
Have your mom give it to you.
I think it says freedom.
That microwave.
Of course, it's in German too. So, what is German for freedom?
Freiheit.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, I suppose they would be wearing those. Although it might be kind of hard to see that. From the boat.
Or does it say Frieden? That means peace.
That's what it says. Yeah, it does say that. Okay, it says peace. Sorry. Forgive me.
It says gibberish as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, true. Anybody who can't read German. It says Frieden. Don't know what that means. What?
How are you gonna fight with a board plaque on your chest? That's not armor.
Right?
So the city looks like there is one entrance into it from right across the bridge. Yeah.
Yeah, the bridge is basically, and you would have gotten this information from the Prince Bishop when he gave you the map and stuff. It's updated to show the new earthenworks around the city, which have been dug up to make sure that nobody could access any of the other gates except for the western gate, where which is accessed via the bridge.
Yeah. So
They've closed off all other entrances to the city.
when you say earthenworks,
Yeah, those, think of like dug trenches and pits.
almost like a moat or what?
Yeah,
It should
very
be-
much like a
should
moat. In
be a
fact,
moat.
by this point in time, it probably is a moat. It's probably full of water, and
Yeah, it's connected to the river
it'd be quite. Is it connected to the river?
at the top left.
Okay. Oh, right. Yeah, the dark parts would be the water. I see, and the white parts would be bits of. Yeah, you're right. Thank you. You know what? All the times I've looked at this map, I never figured that out. Yes. So it's moat, and then you can see bits of muddy earth as well leading up to the city walls. And you will see patrols of those same guards walking portions of the walls from time to time. There's not a lot of them.
All unarmed, I'm guessing.
Yeah, they all seem to be unarmed, which
Chuckle.
is odd.
Mhm. As soon as we get back on dry land, I'm going to start the process of putting my chain back on.
So yeah, the boats will pull up to the docks on the left side there, near the where the refugee camp is, and the merchants will start unloading their goods. There's people are used to the routine by this point in time. This has been going on for about 10 days now, so people are kind of clearing way so that the merchants can set up because people want to buy goods and such.
So
Now,
amongst
the merchants are only carrying basic daily items. No, there's no weapons or any spectacular what do you call it? Adventuring gear or anything like that. That's right. It's daily stuff. There's things like soap and rations.
Are any of the merchants armed?
The merchants are indeed armed. They are armed with what would they have? They would have like clubs, cudgel type weapons, and daggers. Yeah, that'd be about it, I think.
And are they wearing any armor?
No, they're not.
And when we get dropped off with the merchants, are the boats sticking around to bring them back, or are they just dropping them off for a while and leaving?
No, the boats are sticking around.
Okay.
Yep.
So as we're unloading, I'm gonna turn and as I'm putting my chain back on and say, so the fact that we just got dropped off by the Imperial Army, and I'm sure there's gonna be people in the camp here watching all of this. You think it's gonna cause us any problems in the city?
Well, I suppose it's possible. Although if no one's armed in the city, hopefully that should minimize any problems.
I hope so.
Well, it looks like we came on our own boat, possibly. Is there anybody armed amongst the refugees?
No, not really. You don't see anybody who looks like any kind of a guard or soldier or anything of that sort. These are mostly townsfolk. I mean, some of them have like farming implements and tools and stuff like that could be used as weapons.
Like pitchforks, such?
But you don't see any actual guards walking around here. And actually, you see the sailors, now that they've kind of tied up the boats and the merchants are unloading, the sailors kind of pull out armor and weapons, and they start to don them. So the sailors who've brought you down here are now putting on essentially chain armor, swords, chain armor and swords. And you see that they're now double duty. They work as sailors for the trip, and now they're working as the merchants' guards as well.
Okay.
And they'll kind of see you guys looking, and one of them say, "Well, weapons are outlawed in Karlstadt, but we only go as far as the refugee camp. Their guards don't seem to have anything to do with the camp."
Have you gone in the city before?
No.
Have you heard of how... Oh, sorry. I don't understand them. Damn.
Oh, right. Oh, they're speaking German. Shit, I forgot. God damn it. Never mind. Hey, can you translate this for me? Have you ever entered the city before? And then tell me what he says. Since
He
you
says
speak German.
No. From what I understand, we had men in the city before the 7 rose to power. None of them ever came out. And given the current situation with entry to the city being barred, we don't try our luck. We will only be here until, let's see, what time is it they arrived? About 8 a.m.? A little after? Yeah, we'll only be here till midday, and then we'll start heading back to Würzburg.
I wonder what happens if somebody tries to go into the city armed. I mean, who's to stop them?
Well, I don't know for sure, but I'd hazard it's got something to do with the 7 witches that are in charge of the town.
It's not even the witches you have to worry about. It's the demons they command.
Wait, demons?
Oh, yes, they're witches. They're servants of Satan. What did you expect?
Yes, but they combat demons from hell here in the city?
Yes,
You've
there are
actually
several of
seen
them.
these demons.
He makes a sign of the cross. No. I don't go anywhere near that bridge. This is as close as I get.
Why is he crossing himself? What's going on?
He's saying that the witches command demons, but he doesn't seem to have seen. And I turn to him in German and I say,
We've heard the stories, sir.
So you've reliable witnesses who've seen these demons, yes?
Well, good Christian folk here from amongst the refugees.
What
As reliable as it can get, I suppose.
Of course. What did they say these demons look like? Just so we're better prepared if we have to face them.
I don't know the details, sir. I don't want to. Just that they're horrific, monstrous, and that there are many of them.
I'm sure they are red-skinned and have horns.
Could you direct us to any of these reliable witnesses? Because obviously, forewarned is forearmed.
Well, so my duty is to protect the merchants here with the caravan. But if you wish to travel amongst the refugees and speak to them yourselves, of course, you are here on the Prince Bishop's leave, from my understanding. You may do as you please. We will be making this trip every day at the same time. So, if it was my understanding that you probably would not be coming back with us this day, but we will be here every day.
I turn back and in English say, there are rumors of demons in the town. Nothing reliable, though.
Demons, you say? How about we try our luck down in Sicily?
Well, I shouldn't be too concerned. It seems like peasant stories and fables, nothing reliable.
I mean, I've certainly never heard anything of demons in Sicily. I will agree with that.
I think we should talk to some of the refugees who have been here for a while. See if they've noticed anything other than guards on a bridge.
Does anyone want some holy water sprinkled on him? We are entering the witch's country, witch's city, when there are demons walking here.
I pull out a little vial and I'm like, I've already got some, thanks.
Oh, where you get them from?
Well, I got it from a priest I knew before I left England. It's a long story, and I like to be prepared. And I didn't know what sort of places I was going to be going into. And you hear all sorts of stories. So, like I say, I know a priest who was sympathetic, and he provided me with this.
Oh, interesting.
Now, those of you who are paying attention will notice that the guard quickly kind of what's the word? He bristles and rushes back up to where the merchants are actually set up with their stands, their stalls, as it were. Mm-hmm. And you'll see all of the guards all of the sailors / guards are all, those that have finished putting on their armor, and even some that are still putting on pieces are all rushing up there. And you'll also notice that there is a large group of men who have just pushed their way through the crowds to the front of the crowd, right in front of the merchant stalls, who are wearing makeshift, bits of patchwork armor and stuff, and carrying weapons. And they look extremely unsavory, rough, scars. If this was a D&D game, I'd say they look like bandits, basically. But they're there, and you see the other refugees kind of cow around them and do anything they tell them to do. And they are now exchanging with the merchants and taking basically the best bits of food and stuff that the merchants have and exchanging money for it, which the merchants are charging about 7 times normal prices for their items. But these guys are paying.
If there's any of the refugees nearby, I'm just going to sort of nudge one of them gently and say, who are those people?
Those are they're the lads, the boys.
The boy. Whose boys?
Brian's boys, I think they call them. A lot of the folks just call them the lads. Their leader, he's a foreigner, real rough and dangerous type. They're the toughest men in the camp, and they've got the best gear, so they're in charge.
Oh, I see. I turn to the others in English. I say, apparently, according to this fellow here, those people are called Brian's boys or the lads. Their leader's some sort of rough and tumble ruffian. He seems like he's the sort of muscle hereabouts. He pretty much has the run of the place. Everyone seems quite scared of him, and his men have like all of the good stuff goes to them, I suppose.
The lads. Really?
Yeah. So apparently so.
So does anybody go into the city with all these refugees outside? I'd imagine not.
Who are you asking?
Diggory, since he's already started a conversation.
Say all of my characters speak German, so I don't know what you're saying.
I turn to the refugee and I say, "Excuse me, do many people go into the city hereabouts?" I say in German to the refugee.
Well, yes. Every day. Let me see here.
I'll be translating this as he speaks.
Once a day, just before midday, the gates will open across the bridge, and whoever wishes to leave the city is allowed to leave. And then after the bridge clears, they allow anybody who wishes to enter the city to come forward for inspection by the watcher. And if she deems them worthy, then they're allowed to enter into the city. Of course, if they try to bring any kind of weapons or armor into the city, they're arrested and taken away to their that fort they have out there on Goblin Hill, I think.
The Watcher, you say?
The Watcher, yes, the Watcher. What's her name? Stoltz, Ingeborg Stoltz.
I translate that for the others.
She's one of them.
She's the last one. Yeah, okay, gotcha.
The 7.
I see.
She has one of those things with her. It's like a giant eyeball inside a cube that floats with lightning flashing inside. It's horrible.
Devil's work.
Yes, exactly.
When he's saying this, I'm going to be like, really though?
They say she can tell when anyone is hiding weapons, and that the demon that she commands can read your thoughts. Nobody ever gets in through treachery.
If you don't mind me asking, who says that the demon can read your thoughts?
Everybody. It's the talk of the camp.
I see.
It doesn't speak, they say. I've seen it, but only from afar. But it has those flashing lights inside of it. I'm sure it must communicate to her through some kind of demon language, something that only a witch could understand. Surely, it's not right. But all that said, if I could get the chance to go into the city myself, I think I'd probably take that chance. They say the Swedes are coming and that they're going to kill us all.
So if you know what I'm saying, you seem like a God-fearing sort of a good God-fearing sort of person.
Well, yes, sir. My parents raised me that way.
But you're saying due to the danger of the Swedes, you'd quite happily shelter in a city controlled by these demons summoning witches that you're talking about.
Well, I mean, they may be evil, but I don't hear any stories about the witches slaughtering the innocent. The Swedes, they're a different kind of devil, sir.
Oh, well, that is quite true. Quite true.
Has anybody... Did he say anybody's ever come out that he's talked to?
Did you know directly anyone who's been into the city and come out again?
Yes, I've known some people that have come and gone. Yes, they try to buy goods here from the merchants and take them inside and sell them. And yes, indeed.
Yes, he says he knows a few people who've come out and bartered with the merchants and then gone back into the city, presumably when they open these gates at these regular intervals he was talking about. But if we did want to get into the city, that would seem to be the way to do it, and it would also be a way to get a look at one of these members of this 7 group.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
How about we find one of these guys who's going to be going into the city to sell his goods, and well, he's not looking, stuff a dagger into one of his bags. See what happens.
Yeah. Because
he won't have any knowledge of it, but if they can sense weapons and treachery,
well that would be a good way of testing that fellow's thoughts about this this demon thing, as he calls it.
Excuse me, sir. What language is that you speak with them?
Oh, but it's English.
Oh, they're English.
Yes, as
I
am I.
heard that they were ugly.
I laugh when he says that.
That one, he looks very dangerous. Are any of you currently wearing armor or carrying
Yes.
weapons?
Oh yeah, as soon as
Yeah.
I got on land, I was armored up again.
Okay.
Yeah, same here.
You will also notice then that a group of the lads are standing and pointing and kind of talking and laughing and gesturing specifically, that's easy for me to say, at what's your name, Jasper.
Oh yeah,
Since he's there in like fucking chainmail armor, and what do you have for weapons? A big sword, don't you?
I got a sword on one hip, a dagger on the other, and I'm resting my shield on the ground at the moment with my forearm along top of it.
There's also a group of refugees who've gathered around you guys, but they're keeping a distance. They seem to want to approach you. They're all kind of talking and whispering, but they're much more kind of in awe of you lot. Whereas these lads, they seem to be really kind of. Well, you get the feeling they're taking the piss out of you and having a laugh about it.
I put on my best smug face.
I'm going to see if I can listen and see if I can catch any of the words that these lads are saying.
And how many of them are again?
I wonder if they were hired by the Prince Bishop as well.
So as you're kind of listening, you get the feeling from what words you pick up. They're not talking super loud, but you're able to, once you focus your attention, John, you're able to pick up on some of the words they're saying. You have a feeling they're getting they're arguing about which one of them is going to come over and kick his ass and take his sword and armor.
We hear this? It's a German?
If you're specifically trying to focus and listen to what they're saying, yes.
Okay.
And who is it they're directing their sort of banter at?
Jasper, the one who's there with the big sword and the chainmail.
I'm talking. I'm saying to them, hey, you guys that are laughing. I bet this fine Englishmen are way stronger than you are.
What? Ridiculous! What kind of citizen of the Empire are you that you would bet on the Englishmen?
I have seen them fought. They protected me, and I know how strong they are. And God is on their side, so I know.
What is that accent? You're from Cologne? Ah, that explains it.
While this conversation's going on, I'm going to lean over to Jasper and I say, I'm not entirely sure that, given the dialect they're speaking, Jasper, but I think that ruffian over there is saying that he's going to give you a damn good licking. I think he made several insults about your parentage.
Well, you put armor on a pig, it's still a pig.
Now they start walking towards you.
Yeah, he's definitely saying he's going to show you who's boss.
Hmm?
They start to approach you. There's only 6 of them. And none of them are as well armored as you are. Anyway, there are 6 of them that start to approach. And at this point, the refugee who you've been talking to wordlessly excuses himself and gets away from you and kind of disappears back amongst the throng of poor and hungry and sick. As these 6 men walk up and they say, well, so you wish to challenge one of us, do you? They say to Jasper.
I'll translate.
What's that now?
They're asking if you wish to challenge one of them. This oaf that appears to be their leader seems to think that he's got the measure of you.
Oh, does he now?
Yes.
I just laugh. You talking about these guys? And I point at them and spit on the ground.
So the biggest one, he's about maybe 6'4", and pretty decent size. He's got kind of a lumberjack look to him, although he doesn't have the kind of lithe movements of a professional soldier like you might have, Jasper.
Mm-hmm.
You can recognize the untrained. He's more of a ruffian than he is a soldier.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of steps forward, and he's wearing like piecemeal, like bits of. It's mostly like leather,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got bits of iron and metal and stuff sewn on it, different areas, or attached. But he says, he says something in German, which you don't understand, but the rest of you say, He says, "My name is Friedrich. I will challenge this man to a bout of fisticuffs, bare knuckle, armor off. I bet my sword against his," he says, and he slaps the sword on his hip.
He appears to want to fight you in the manner of some sort of common tavern brawl with no armor and blade meeting blade or some such nonsense.
No armor.
Yes, I know, quite barbaric.
I don't think that'll help him either way.
Well, yes, I'm sure you'd give him 6 of the king's best, but
He takes his sword off, raises it, and he throws it down in front of him, and he starts to take off his armor.
I'll start to take off my armor, and I'll turn to.
Did the man set the stakes?
it seems to be more a matter of pride rather than any sort of monetary exchange, I think.
Oh, no, he bets his sword.
Oh, he's betting his sword. Sorry, I must have misunderstood.
Oh.
Like I say, his dialect's not familiar to me.
Francis, keep an eye on my gear, if you would.
Oh, don't put your sword up against that piece of rusted tin.
That's fine. Make a couple of coin off it, I'm sure. I'm not worried.
Enough.
Yeah, take off my armor.
All right. So he steps
Take off
forward.
my shirt. Just go at him bare from the waist up.
Fists up.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and roll initiative, Merrick. It's
All right.
1d6 plus or minus your dex modifier.
1d6.
Mm-hmm.
3.
And unarmed damage is 1d2 plus just 1d2, isn't it? Straight up 1d2. Yep.
No strength bonus? Oh, you don't do damage bonus to strength, right?
No.
No strength damage.
Strength only modifies your hit roll. So what did you get on initiative?
3.
So he will go first the first round. So he steps forward and swings a right hook at you.
Mm-hmm.
He's got an 18, so I'm guessing that's going to hit you on armor.
Yeah.
And he hits you for 1 point of damage.
Just grin. Just lay into him.
Go for it.
All
Make
right.
your attack roll.
Move in and grapple the blackguard, Jasper.
You can see the other men are stepping forward. They're trying to start a betting ring, but none of the refugees really want to bet.
That's an 18.
An 18 is going to hit. Give me your damage. 1d2.
All right. 1d2, huh? So, okay. That is 2 points.
2 points. Boom, boom. Ow. Yeah, you give him a good welt on the head. His eye starts to swell up a bit, and a little bit of blood coming out of his nose as well. And he
Good show, Jasper. Good show.
Chuckle at him.
he takes a step back. Roll on initiative again.
All right.
Okay.
3.
All right, he goes first again. He's faster than you. Well, that's going to be a 17, so that's going to hit you again for 2 points of damage. This time,
All right.
he gives a good little 1-2 combo, like a little body blow followed by a cross on the chin.
All right. Not bad. Not bad. Let him have it. Yep. 18 again.
Ooh, damage.
2 points.
2 points. So yeah, you get a nice little 2-hit combo in with one nice little uppercut, and now he looks a little bit. He's not quite staggered, but you could see his knees buckle a little bit on that uppercut, and he's not standing up as straight as he was. He's not bobbing and weaving as fast as he was.
Just get his grin even bigger.
Now
I'm getting the fucking.
The lads stop trying to get people to take bets with them now because they don't feel so good about it all of a sudden.
Right.
And God, I got a 6 for his initiative again.
My blood is boiling now. That is a 6 also.
Okay, it'll happen simultaneously.
All right.
No, an 11 is going to miss you.
Okay,
So
so
he
that
tries-
is.
You're able to kind of counter or block his blow.
All right. I also base melee, right? Attack bonus.
Yeah, melee attack bonus is correct.
So that's an 11.
Well, that's going to miss as well. So you both swing and both block.
All right.
So nobody gets hit that round. But the other guys aren't looking so confident. They're come on, Friedrich, come on. Show that English cunt what's up. I got 6 again. Wow, my initiative died banging.
Yeah, I rolled a 5.
A 12. Do you have a dex modifier?
I don't.
So that hits you for 1 point of damage.
All right.
So nothing too serious, like a body blow.
I'd have a lot more hit points than this guy too.
Yeah, like what do you still have like 19 hit points?
Yeah, that's 14 that time.
That's gonna hit him.
And that is for 1 point.
Oof. Yeah, so you get a good punch right across the jaw, and now his mouth is bleeding as well. So he's got a bust. His nose is bleeding a bit. His eyes swelling up. He's got blood coming out of his mouth. He's breathing real heavy. Roll initiative.
Fresh as a daisy.
What is this now? 6 rounds?
You got him on the ropes,
4.
Jasper.
This is all of like 36 seconds of combat. He's on 6 again.
All right, he beat me. I rolled 4.
I rolled a 5 plus 1, so a 13 will hit you for 4 points or for 2 points of damage. Sorry, 2
All
points.
right. Ooh.
Yeah, 4 points.
That
Jesus
one.
Christ. 2 points.
That
So that he gets a nice little 1-2.
Yeah.
And that time like draws a little blood from your nose.
All right.
Now you're showing a little bruising on the face.
That is a 19 to hit.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Roll damage.
1 point.
And you can describe your knockout blow.
All right, so he gets me on the nose a bit, and as he does, as his arm goes past, I reach up and grab that wrist, grab him by the beard, yank him forward, and smash my forehead right into his nose, and then push him back and just step back as he collapses like a sack of shit.
Yep, he goes down, falls on his ass, and then rolls back on his back, and he's just standing there, kind of looking up at the sky, cross-eyed. Blood coming out of multiple places on his face. The blood on his nose now is like his nose basically exploded in blood on that final one.
And I raise my hands up and do a slow turn to the crowd. It's a giant shit-eating grin on my face.
And nobody cheers. You can like see a lot of them kind of want to. Like one guy might kind of go, "Yeah,
that's fine. That's fine." They knew who's boss.
Francis is definitely cheering. He's like, yeah, well done, well struck.
The other guys come forward.
Like,
and they like 2 of them kind of grab him by the arms, start to pull him back.
Walk over and I grab my new sword. And
another one walks over and puts his hand on the sword at the same time you do.
And I just give him a look like.
He takes his hand away and steps back, and he grumbles something in German that you don't understand.
I yank the belt. I yank it off. Whatever. If it was on the belt still, I yank it off of that and drop. I didn't win his belt. I just won the sword.
No, it's just sword and scabbard.
Oh, okay.
How many hit points have you lost?
4 points, I guess.
Okay, I grab my backpack
5
and
points.
pull out a bottle of wine. I go to you and say, "Congratulations, you're a true warrior of God." Give you the bottle of wine and touch you, say a prayer, and try to cure light wounds.
Okay. I pat the priest on the arm or the Marius on the shoulder, yank the cork out with my teeth, and take a big swig.
While they're doing this, I'm going to be sort of trying to rouse up the crowd a bit, speaking in German. I'm like, "My apologies, I must have misunderstood you. When you said lads, I didn't realize you meant ladies. Look at that! This is a man here. Look at this man, and look at this small, tiny, weak man over here as he's like being carried on."
Oh, Christ. I feel like I'm being set up, but that's all right. I like a good fight.
Go ahead and roll your healing for your spell as you cast it there, Marius.
Yep, it's a 3 + 4, so 7 points restored.
Full health.
Okay. A lot of people in the crowd notice as you do this, and you say the prayer, and you put your hand on him, and anybody who's paying attention will see that there's, it's not like a direct glow, but there's like a light almost, like Jasper just kind of brightens a bit, and the blood seeps away, and his nose instantly stops bleeding, and the blood actually disappears from his face as he's standing there, and the bruises fade away, and a bunch of people go and step back and start whispering amongst each other. Anybody who speaks German and is listening to the whispers will hear them arguing amongst each other. Oh, is he a witch? No, maybe it's a miracle. He's one of the devout. And they're now arguing amongst themselves as to whether or not Marius is a miracle worker or a witch.
Since I'm still sort of trying to like rouse up the crowd,
not all of them, just some of them. Yep.
yeah, so hearing this, I'll sort of be carrying on. I'll be like, Jasper the proud, beloved of God, and Marius, servant of the true God. Blessed are they in the eyes of the Lord.
See that? You see that? Look, no, look, he was bleeding before. I didn't see anything.
It's a
Yeah, no, there's no blood.
I get dressed.
And now the crowd starts swarming around you guys, begging, "Oh, please, please give us a blessing! Please give us a blessing!" They're saying to Marius, and they're asking the rest of you, "Do you have any food? Do you have any coin? Do you have any?" They're just like, you basically have become the celebrities of the area now. Even the merchants are even looking at you kind of annoyed now because nobody's trying to buy their stuff. Everybody's coming up to you, crowd in the area, trying to beg for handouts and blessings.
I give them some papers, some writings of Martin Luther.
Okay.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. The question is, how many of them can even read?
I love the fact they're asking for blessings. You're like, have you read this pamphlet?
And the question is, how many of them could read? And amongst those who could read, how many of them would know even that this was heresy? Probably not too many. So yeah, you're getting away with it. People are like, oh, very interesting. Yeah, this miraculous, this guy who's performed a miraculous healing on his comrade is giving us a paper.
Read these teachings. These are the teachings from the Bible, from the real way Jesus wants to be.
And that some people say, the Bible? We can't read the Bible.
Yeah, and this is what Martin Luther wants. He wants that everybody can read the Bible.
Lutheran. He's a Lutheran. They're heretics, aren't they? Well, yeah, but the 7 are witches, and we're all trying to get into Karlstadt. So now an argument breaks out amongst the crowd as to whether or not, what they should do about. There's a heretic here. That's how he performed his spell. Maybe it was witchcraft. No. It was obviously a miracle.
Can
maybe
we tell how agitated the
and a
crowd
whole
is getting?
big argument is breaking out now amongst people, like trying to decide. Some of them are saying, well, maybe the Lutherans have it right. Maybe we should all. Maybe if we all join them, maybe the Swedes will spare us. Yes, they'll just kill the wicked ones in the city. And others are saying, no. The Pope is the only true, representative of God on this earth, and this man is a heretic, and he should be burned at the stake. And
I'm really thinking about to lead them all to the river and baptize them. So stop.
you get the feeling some of them would definitely follow you willingly.
Do it.
Yes, follow me. I will baptize you on the new way, in the way that Jesus really wanted. Here's the river. We don't need the church. We don't need the Catholic Church. Jesus was baptized in the river. So follow me to the river.
While this is all going on,
Diggory, what is he saying? What is he saying, and where are those people going?
I'm just
What's going on?
Laughing behind my hand, and then I'll be like, I'm not entirely sure, but I think he's taking them all to the river to perform some sort of baptizing or blessing or something along those lines.
Oh, great.
Well, I do recognize the name Luther, yes.
Oh, yes. I think he was saying something about Jesus being baptized in a river, and they didn't need a church. All they needed was their faith, and they should follow him to the river, and he was going to bless them.
And I would say, well, I think there goes our 15,000 silver. Wasn't it predicated on the fact that he was not a heretic?
And as you're obviously a little bit paranoid about this, Veldison, and you see the merchants and the guards from Wurzburg, they're all looking with great disdain at what's going on, and they share a few whispers amongst themselves as well.
So, getting into the city then.
Maybe our best bet now. I was raised Catholic, but
As far as sorry, I see your question in chat. I wasn't looking at that earlier. Did you all know that he was Protestant? I don't know. I think he kept that quiet, wasn't it?
No. They knew it.
Oh no, they did know that. Yeah, because they knew that was one of the things you were doing with the ship. That's why you were traveling with the crew. That's right. Sorry, my mistake. I forgot.
Roughly how long is it going to be in? Because I know they said the gates to the city opened at certain times. How long is it going to be from now until the gates are opened?
Yes.
Do you want to ask somebody? They said around midday. I mean, like right now it's like
the contraband books.
Not even 9 o'clock in the morning yet.
Yeah, so we've got like a good few hours.
Yeah, at least.
Well, it seems we've got at least a few hours until the gates open if we want to go into the city anyway. Although I dare say with all the furore that Marius is causing, it's well, we're going to have a slightly more difficult time of it out here. Obviously, you've already seen the commotion that all of this has caused.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
You see a woman approaching you. She's wearing clothes that are relatively fine. They're actually really nice clothes, although they're kind of filthy at this stage.
Now, given that I'm wearing sort of fairly sort of high-born clothing myself, albeit filthy and well-travelled, as a cast like an appraising eye over her clothes, do they look like? Are they just sort of like well-made peasants' clothes, or are they?
Yeah, they're not nobility. They're not noble clothes. They are the clothes that like a wealthy farmer or somebody who owns like an orchard might wear, something like that. That kind of nice clothes.
I presume she's speaking in German.
She is, yes.
I'll say,
are you heroes?
Well, I wouldn't classify myself as such. We're just people trying to do what we think's right.
I'll just interject. Yes.
I saw what he did to that man there, Friedrich's one of the toughest of them, and he dropped him like it was nothing. It was very impressive, and you see her kind of look a little bit lustfully at Jasper, and then a man walks up and puts his hand on her shoulder, and says, "Yes, my wife and I were wondering if you could help us."
What do you need?
Well, he pulls a piece of paper out from his like he also is wearing really nice, like used to be a really nice jacket, a nice kind of frilled shirt and all that, but now it's all obviously quite dirty and stuff. Basically, looking at these guys, these are wealthy people who've fallen on hard times. He pulls out this piece of paper and he offers it to you, Diggory.
I'll take the paper and have a look at it. So, do you have any writing on it or anything?
Yes. It says, if you want to see your son alive, bring 1,000 silver pieces in the saddlebags of a pony out to the farmhouse at this location. There's a crappy little map drawn on there.
I'll read this out loud in English as I'm sort of reading it.
Tie it up in the barn. Say it the wrong button. Tie the donkey in the barn and then leave. Get out of sight of the entire farm for 2 hours before you return. When you do, you will find your child sitting on the pony.
I'll read that out to the rest of you in English. It would appear some miscreants trying to extort money from this fellow for their bit of kidnapped his son.
Yes. Trying to exploit some gullibility. There's no way that's a sincere offer.
We haven't seen him. We haven't seen him since. It's 2 days now, sir.
And it's been 2 days since they last saw their son.
He was taken almost right out from under our own eyes here in the refugee camp. We have no idea. Nobody seems to know who it was.
Do you have 1,000 silver? Do they have 1,000 silver?
Well, that's the problem, sir. We don't. But I can scrounge up 50.
Has this happened
right?
before?
We can scrounge up 50, Maria? And she says, yes, I can make 50. And she looks kind of dejected a little bit. She gets real kind of withdrawn when he says that, and she kind of crosses her arms across her breasts, and she's looking down and rocking back and forth a little bit.
To the others in English, I say, to be honest, I expect reading this that their son is already beyond help. After all, why would these kidnappers go to all the trouble of and the hassle of keeping the child when they could simply do away with him and still get the money?
And why even try to extort money from people who clearly don't have anything?
Indeed, I suspect they're hoping that the people will scrape together whatever they can. They'll then pocket that and disappear, and the son will never be seen again, because I suspect he's already been disposed of.
What's your intelligence degree?
In these times.
So what was that, Ian? What
is your intelligence? I know I have your character sheet, but it's
my intelligence is 16.
It also crosses your mind when you look at them again that, they are wearing fine clothes, as filthy as they may be. It's possible that the kidnappers may have assumed that they still had some wealth tucked away.
Yes, I mean, obviously these people were once in better circumstances than they are now. Perhaps the kidnappers were unaware of their recent hard times, or perhaps they simply mistook them for being better off than they are. I mean, I suppose that's another possibility, although I don't think it really pertains to any greater chance of surviving for the unfortunate child involved in this. Well, what do you all think, anyway?
I was thinking exactly what you thought.
Silver's just not as important in a time of war, when food and everything else is more important.
I can't imagine they would spend the money to keep the food.
I almost considered. I considered selling my guns for a meal just the other day.
See, although I don't think we have any chance of recovering the child again, I do think it'd be the thing to do to at least try and teach these horrendous people a lesson. After all, if I'm correct, I expect they've already committed at least one murder, and who knows, they're probably this probably isn't their first time attempting something like this, and it probably won't be the last unless someone actually stops them.
I'm all for putting down a mad dog.
Yes, quite. But we have the location. If we could hide out and wait and see who approaches, maybe leave a convincing fake sack that looks like it might have money in it, pebbles or something, I don't know. Leave it where they've said and wait until they approach to get their loot, and then we can deal with them.
I like that idea.
Well, yes, having seen your fighting prowess there, Jasper, I'm sure whatever these child snatchers are. I mean, after all, what sort of man snatches a child? I'm sure they wouldn't be able to stand up against a mighty warrior such as yourself.
Preen a little bit.
I'm quite good at fighting too.
Well, yes, I'm sure you are. I just haven't seen you in action, as it were.
Yes, of course.
I don't mind admitting it. I myself am no great shakes when it comes to anything like that, I'm afraid. I was given to more scholarly pursuits back in England, and so I'm afraid I don't really have a great deal of expertise to go on when it comes to judging other people's fighting abilities. But yes, I definitely think we should do something to teach these miscreants a lesson.
You should tell me sometime about your scholarly pursuits. I wish I had had the chance. I believe I showed an aptitude, but was unable for obvious reasons. And he kind of looks down at his armor and weapons.
Well, it was mostly dry legal stuff, transcribing documents, that sort of thing. More of a hobby than anything else. I can't say my family approved of it terribly, but there you go. One does these things when one's young.
Documents, fascinating.
Indeed.
He's got a big smile on his face.
I'm sorry to interrupt, sir, but will you do it or not? Because, well, my wife will have to get to work right away if we're to come up with the money.
Well, I don't think she'll have to worry about the money.
Now, listen here, my fine fellow, I say in German. You've already said that these people have asked for far more money than you have. And even if you can scrape up the amount of money you've said, they're not going to be happy with that. That's not what they've asked for. What I'm suggesting is that myself and my friends here, and I'm sure you've seen the might of at least one of our sword arms, and we have other capable people here. What we're suggesting is we effectively lie in wait for said miscreants. When they turn up to collect their money, we'll apprehend the fellow who turns up, give him a damn good thrashing, and find out where your son's located. How does that sound to you?
It sounds extremely dangerous. You don't think it would endanger the boy?
Well, put it this way, I don't think he'll be in any more danger than if you turn up and you offer them a fraction of the money that they've asked for. After all, if they've asked for 1,000 silver and you turn up with 50, what do you think they're going to do?
Well, if you will help us, the money is yours. Everything we can scrounge together.
That's fine. We don't need your money.
You would do this for free?
Oh, yes, of course.
And the woman kind of looks up and she looks confused, and then she starts to cry.
Boy, Diggory, what'd you say to her?
You are a saint, sir.
He
gets down on his knees and takes your hand and kisses your hand.
I'll look a bit uncomfortable. I'll sort of help him back to his feet, and I say, "No. We're simply strangers passing. As you've seen my colleagues there. They're all for standing up for people who can't stand up for themselves. So we're going to be here anyway. So why not help you out?"
I've never met anyone like you, sir. Definitely not in these times. You are the greatest of Christians, more Christian than any other Christian I've known. Come, darling, let's go to the river. We must join them.
Yes, we far rather you keep whatever money you have and use it to help you raise your boy when he's recovered. And then, like in English, turning time, I'm like, the boy's definitely dead.
Oh, definitely,
absolutely. But at least we'll get paid.
Oh no, I told them we didn't need their 50 silver pieces. After all, we're going to get a far greater bounty when we've solved this whole witch business.
Mm.
And after all, surely we can't take the last bit of silver out of that. After all, it's all they have.
I'm sure whoever we're going to be meeting is going to have more than enough compensation.
Exactly. And besides, I'm sure you can all beat whatever money out of this this miscreant. I'm sure you can get whatever money he has out of him, and I'd be certainly more comfortable with you taking money off him, bloody child snatcher.
I don't know what language you speak with your comrades, but you have my eternal gratitude. My name is Heinrich, and you will just ask for me when you return. You'll be able to find me. My wife is Maria. We will go to the river now and take part in your comrades' ceremony.
Splendid. When you see Marius, who's conducting the blessing, if you could tell him that his comrades in arms are about to engage in a work of charity to help out some people, I'm sure he'd want to get involved himself.
Of course. Oh, and
what did you say your name was again? Heinrich Maria, was it?
Yes. And
Splendid.
My son's name is Heinz.
Heinz, splendid.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. And again, he tries to kiss your hand again, and his wife comes forward and starts kissing you on the cheeks, and she goes around to kiss all the other men on the cheeks as well. And he's shaking everyone's hand, and he shakes your hand, and he kisses your hand, and he says, oh, well, those of you who understand him, he's truly you're saints among men. The Lord has brought you here to save our son. We're so grateful. And then they start to make their way down to the river to join the 32 other refugees who are ready to take part in Marius's baptism ceremony.
How old was the boy?
How old was your son? I'll shout after them as they head off.
He's 6, sir.
6.
Definitely dead.
Yeah, definitely dead.
I'd kill a 6-year-old even if I didn't have to.
What?
They're so annoying. I'm joking, of course. I wouldn't actually kill one. But I'd think about it.
Oh, Diggory. So, you who don't fight, you offered up our services for free.
Well, you were just talking about how you were looking for an opportunity to demonstrate your combat prowess. So, I would say I've done you a favor.
Oh, no. That I'm sure that wasn't me. Jasper, yes, Jasper. But
Actually, it was Francis.
Yes. Okay, that's what it was. Francis Corp.
I thought I was having a hard time keeping you guys straight.
But he does seem noble, and at some point, should he survive, and we could help recover his son, he might be willing to help us in the future.
Well, indeed, and the way I'm seeing it is, if we can apprehend the people responsible for this, I'm sure these aren't the only people they've extorted money from. If you get my meaning.
I do.
And after all, why take a paltry 50 silver pieces off people who can probably barely scrape that together when we can go straight to the source of the people who've no doubt been extorting money from far more people and take the money off them?
Yes. Well, and the other plan, the getting inside with the dagger or whatever.
Yeah,
Yes,
we can do that at any time.
Yeah, we can still do that.
At the same time.
I tell you what I'm interested in there. You know, this fellow who was saying this watcher or whatever he called it consents weapons. I'm wondering what precisely do they classify as a weapon? For instance, if I were to walk in there with a length of rope, I think most people wouldn't classify a length of rope as a weapon. However, it could be used to strangle someone, as we saw earlier. It could be used to hang people. So,
well, they did go so far to say that they could read your intentions.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but most people I know have thought about killing someone. So, how far does that go to reading intentions? Hell, I can just tear a leg off a table and beat someone to death with it if I need to.
Exactly, and if they're just reading general intentions, then if they were reading any sort of violent intentions, then there'd be no one at all in the city. Like you say, there's not a person alive in this world who hasn't thought violently or thought ill of somebody during their life.
Well, just the same. And while our fanatical friend is busy about his work, I think that we should sincerely go and talk to these witches and talk about, and then I'll explain my whole plan to Albin that I explained to Albin, or not Albin. Yeah, it was Albin.
Yeah. To everybody else.
So you're suggesting some sort of ruse?
It sounds a lot safer than going in and fighting against witches and demons. I mean, especially if they, and especially with all that killing of the women at the river or before the entrance of.
Don't remind me. Yeah. So and least of all as well when it's regardless of whatever demons or rumors there are about them, when it seems that their only crime really has been to prevent violence in the city.
Yes. And if we went in with that plan, then our intentions would be fine.
Yes.
We wouldn't even have to worry.
This sounds like a splendid idea as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, but what about my arms and armor?
Well, I suppose I'd be willing to go in before you, unarmed. You take care of my guns, of course. That way we're only risking me.
Well, I certainly don't mind accompanying you. I mean, after all, I have very little combat skill to speak of, and
Right,
granted,
and I don't speak the language. I keep forgetting.
yes, well, like I say, I'd be quite happy to come with you as an interpreter. After all, unless they classify various writing materials as weapons, I suppose I could give someone a nasty paper cut with what I've got in my bag. But other than that, and a few knickknacks I managed to gather up from the ship. I mean, I've got a couple of weapons I just grabbed as we were leaving the ship, but I can easily leave them behind.
Excuse me, sir, a lady says. A young lady, looks to be in her late teens.
Hello.
She's got kind of a dark brown hair, very long, tied as neatly as she can, given the fact that she lives in a refugee camp. Her dress is not as filthy as most of the refugees' dress. You can see she makes an effort to try to keep up her appearances. She says, "Did I hear correctly? Are you planning to go into Karlstadt or to try to gain it?"
Yes, that's right, miss.
Well,
you speak English. That's great.
What is he saying?
He was asking if you speak English.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
No, I'm afraid she doesn't.
Well, how did she understand what we were talking about?
We're talking in English.
I think she just probably heard the name Karlstadt.
Oh, I see. Damn it! I wanted to talk to somebody.
She said,
"Well, I'm not good enough for you."
She says, "I know a few words in English, more Swedish though."
Yes, we are thinking of going into the city.
Yes, well, that there are some things you may wish to know before you do, sir.
Oh, really?
I may know someone who could help you, if you could spare a few silver pieces.
Turn to the others in English. I'll say she's offering us some information about the city for a couple of silver pieces. Alas, I barely have a copper to my name after paying for the bath earlier on.
Well, we do have rations, and those are probably worth more.
True.
I'll toss her.
Offer some rations.
How many rations do you offer her?
I stop him. I toss her a couple silver pieces.
Oh, a couple?
2.
She looks, and she looks. Do you have any more, sir? She says to Diggory.
No, I'm afraid that's it.
I understand times are hard, she says, stuffing them into her blouse.
Yes, after all, there is a war on.
She says, "Well, I've been in and out of the city quite a few times myself, as it were."
Really? Well, what can you tell us about it?
Yes. Well, they have the best bar I've ever been to. You will love it.
Well, what's so good about this bar?
It's called. Oh God, I'm gonna fuck this all up. Jens, you're gonna have to follow up with the correct pronunciation. Okay. Zum erleuchteten Hurenbach.
Zum erleuchteten Hurenbock?
Yeah, that. Say it again.
Zum erleuchteten Hurenbock. It's the illuminated whorefucker.
Hurenbach. Yeah, the enlightened whorefucker. Correct.
Yes.
It's a place of absolute debauchery and sin, let me tell you. And her eyes get really big and excited as she says this. Everything goes there. Anything.
I'll say to her, well, if that's the sort of thing you're in the market for, I'm sure my friend over there could help you out. And I said, point at Jasper.
Well, you'll have to have more than 2 silver pieces, sir. I'm worth more than that, she says.
Well,
I'm the cleanest whore you'll find in this refugee camp.
Well, I'm sure you are. I wouldn't know about that. But well, I have.
Would you like to?
Alas, I'm just a poor scribe.
She kind of brushes up against your arm with her generous bosom.
Alas, I'm but a poor scribe. Although I have heard it said that in the cities, Jasper the Proud has visited. The whores often pay him.
She looks at him, and as he takes the finger out of his nose, says, "Really?" I mean, he does have muscles.
Yeah, yes, but you can't see all of them. If you get my meaning.
Oh, yes, I get your meaning. So, you want to go into Karlstadt?
Well, yes.
Well, it's not as easy as it may look. It's not a matter of just crossing the bridge and walking into town, you know.
Oh, right, is it not?
No, you have to get past the Watcher.
Oh, yes, we heard about the Watcher. Apparently, can tell if you mean ill intent or you carry weapons on you.
Oh, no one has ever gotten past her with a weapon that I know of.
Ah.
And I've never seen anyone who tried again. They're all arrested by her Bergen-Friedensmilits and taken to that headquarters, that underground fort they keep on Goblin Hill.
I relate that to the rest of you.
So where's this Goblin Hill?
While this is all going on, Marius, for these ceremonies you're doing, what's it called?
Baptisms.
Right? Are you doing them individually, or are you going to try to do like one big mass baptism?
I try to do them.
You've got more and more people just coming in.
Yeah, it's going fast. I just say my prayers, Vater Unser, and duck them down the water. And
yeah.
You know.
Okay. Yep. So how long would you say honestly that it should take per person?
Per person is just they come, say a prayer, duck down. It's like
30 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. So given the amount of people you currently have, it's going to take you at least another half an hour. Okay. Cool.
Ooh.
Just wanted to make sure. You're busy. The crowd's growing. You started off, there was like a dozen people, and then there was twice that, and then there was 3 times that, and now there's at least 5 times that, and there's more coming.
Nice.
As the rumor is spreading throughout the refugee camp that Lutherans have come to save everyone. And that they work miracles, and that they sent the lads running.
Yep.
And that they're going to save Maria and Heinrich's son free of charge.
And that whores pay them.
Yeah, well, that rumor hasn't spread yet. So she says, well, yes, the Watcher, she's always there. She checks everyone. She gathers everyone who wishes to enter the city at once. Of course, there's a limit to how many they will accept. Any extras are sent away from the bridge. And then she works her magics, and that's how she knows if someone's carrying weapons. It's a spell she works, sir. What do you know about Satan?
Well, I've read a few texts, but I dare say I know as much as the common man knows, but I can't claim to be any expert.
Well, I know your friend over there. She gestures towards the river with her chin. I know that he is supposed to be a man of God, but let me tell you, the only one who rules Karlstadt is Satan. And he is very powerful indeed.
I tell you, she's saying that apparently the devil holds sway over Karlstadt, and the devil is the only god in that city.
Do they stand a chance against the army? In her opinion.
But my dear, in your opinion, do you think that the town can hold out against the encroaching army?
The Seven say that they will crush the Swedes and send them running away if they try to harm anyone in Karlstadt, yes. Including the refugees, they say. Although the refugees don't feel so confident.
Yes, she says the Seven seem confident that they can deal with the army, although the refugees aren't so sure.
Their creatures are very powerful.
Oh, you've seen these creatures then?
Yes, most of them.
Well, what do they look like?
Each one is different, very unique. The Watcher, she always has 2 with her on the bridge. One everyone sees. It is quite plain and visible, easily seen by the eye. Hold on, I want to get the proper descriptions here for you. Here we go. Creatures. Yes. Watcher. So, the one that everyone has seen looks like an eyeball imprisoned in a gelatinous cube. It's longer than a man in each direction, and it flies.
Devilish indeed.
Inside of it, it has tendrils attached that flow off of the eyeball itself, and there is a constant flash of lightning within.
I relay this description to the others.
It makes no sound. But given that it is a giant flying lightning-empowered eye, I think it may have something to do with the Watcher's divination powers.
And you say there was two of them. One which is not seen so often.
The other one is harder to see. It is invisible to the eye most of the time, only occasionally appearing behind her. You have to really look to notice it. It's hard to describe. It looks... What I've seen of it, only in flashes, it's reminiscent of the insides of a man. If you've ever seen a man disemboweled, sir. No, well, it's meaty and grotesque. Maybe bloody, but darker. You know when blood has sat for a long time and it turns black? Like that. It pulses in and out of vision. I'm not even sure that it's material. It's almost spiritual, sir, like a phantom. I don't know what it does, but it scares me.
I see. I can't say I'm surprised. Nevertheless, we must attempt to enter the city.
There are 7 witches, and there are 7 creatures, I'm told.
I relay this to the others. Apparently, there appear to be 7 creatures, perhaps 1 for each of the 7 witches.
But Ingeborg, she has 2.
She has 2.
Yes. And Ludmilla, she has none that I've ever seen. And she's the witch I've spent the most time with, sir, because she runs Zum Erleuchten Ehrenbach. I'm just going to call it the bar from now on.
And these women, you think are evil, are controlled by the demons themselves?
What does he say?
He's asking whether you believe that the 7 witches are somehow under the influence of these demons, or whether they are the masters of these demons.
Well, I believe they are the masters because the demons seem to serve them, not the other way around.
She seems to think that the demons are the servants of the witches rather than the other way around.
Where is your friend from? Why does he speak that silly language? Does he not know German?
Several of my companions are not familiar with German.
Where are you from?
Well, I myself am from England.
Really? I was told all Englishmen were ugly. That seems to have been incorrect.
But that's very kind of you. But I've had the opportunity to study, and I've picked up some understanding of your language. It's not perfect, but I can get by.
Yes. Well, I know a few words of English, but only a few. It's very closely related to German, you know.
Yes, there are a number of similarities. Well, while I was learning your language, it made it easier for me to do so.
Mm. Well, yes.
Thank you for your information, and maybe we'll see you at the bar inside the city if you're planning to return there.
Oh, I see. So you're done with me then?
Well, no, you are quite welcome to stay with us. Unfortunately, I do not have any further coin to offer for any further information. And I would not expect a businesswoman like yourself to freely volunteer information without a suitable recompense.
Information is cheaper than flesh.
Well, is she planning on going in today?
My friend wants to know if you're planning on going into the city today.
Oh, yes. A girl has to eat.
Yes, it would certainly seem so.
Should I go with her?
Well, since both myself and you were planning on going in anyway, how about we accompany the young lady and perhaps we can get some advanced intelligence on what's going on in there.
Right, she could take us straight to La Mida.
Or she could be the one that you put the dagger on.
You bastards. You are evil. That's okay. It makes me feel less bad for the things I'm going to do to you later.
Oh,
Well,
I'm just selfish.
Or she's one of the witches in disguise.
yes.
She
Yes.
says, the gate opens at 11, and then those who wish to leave are free to go. It opens again at noon, at which point the watcher takes her place atop the gate, and she gestures, and you can see a chair there, like mounted up atop the gate, in the distance, across the bridge, of course.
Why does she leave?
She says, the guards will search anyone who wishes to enter here at the far end of the bridge before they approach the gate.
Diggory.
And then, when we approach the gate, the witch, the watcher, she will perform her magics to ensure no one is trying to sneak weapons into the city.
I see. She's saying that the guards and the witch will come out of there, and she will perform whatever magic it is to make sure no one has any weapons on them.
She personally points out anyone who tries deception, and the guards and the throng as well will turn on them and subdue them. They're then taken away by the guards, and well, frankly, I've never seen any of them again. But it's only been 10 days.
She's saying that anyone who is pointed out by the witches is set upon and dragged away by her guards, and they are never seen again.
One of the guards told me once in an intimate moment that the prisoners are taken to Goblin Hill for re-education.
While she was fucking one of the guards, she said that he told her that they take the prisoners to some sort of some place of imprisonment on Goblin Hill, I think she called it.
Yeah, do we have that on the map?
No. There's nothing on the map marked as Goblin Hill, I don't think.
Where is this Goblin Hill located in the city, if you don't mind me asking, my dear?
Oh, well, that's a good question, and I should take a look at my GM's map to find out. Let's see. Where is Goblin Hill?
So if this place is so fine, why does she leave?
Goblin Hill is many miles northeast of here. It's southeast of Hammelburg.
I see. I think she leaves to come out and trade and buy food and stuff like that.
It's nearly 10 miles from here, sir.
Oh.
Apparently, Goblin Hill is 10 miles to the south of here, I believe she's saying.
Oh, it's not in Carlstadt. Okay.
Did he think Goblin Hill is in Karlstadt?
Yes, I think.
Why would there be a hill in the city?
He's from a different place, and there's different places have different customs.
He's touched in the head, isn't he? He has the look of a simpleton.
No, he's really quite a clever fellow. He just likes to affect that disarming attitude so people underestimate him.
Does he have money?
She's asking whether you've got any money on you. I'm starting to suspect you may be some form of strumpet.
Well, anyway, there are other ways into the city as well, I'm told.
Really?
So
Yes, but I can't seem to recall how.
Turning to us, I think she's holding out for money. She says there are other ways into the city, but I think she wants money before she's going to reveal them to us.
I'll give her a couple silver. Tell me more.
She's looking at your silver and says, That's it brings a little back, but no,
She wants more money.
it's just not quite enough.
How much would be enough? How much would jog your memory?
At least twice that.
She wants another 2 silver pieces.
At least.
At least.
How about a day's worth of food?
How about would a day's worth of food substitute instead of the silver?
She hands you the silver back and holds her hands out.
Yes, I pass the silver back. Say, but yes, I think she'd rather have the food.
Yeah, I'll trade her.
You give her a day's worth of rations. Okay, mark it off your character sheet.
Got it.
She takes it. She says, "Oh, a full day's worth of rations." She says, "Well, I will tell you both ways then."
I turn to Jasper and I say, she seems like she's going to give me the information. Do you want me to try and barter for a quick tumble for you? I mean, after all, she seemed quite taken with that day's worth of food you've given her.
No, I gave her the food. Sorry.
I'm sorry, I can't see any of your videos, so I'm not sure who's talking.
Oh, Albin.
Well, I'm sure
their voices are kind of close in timbre.
Yeah,
yeah. Sorry.
That's all right. I didn't notice before.
I'm sure she'd be quite happy to arrange a tumble for yourself as well. After all, if you're paying.
Also, I speak German, so I can just talk to her.
Oh well, there you go. Then you can
sorry.
You can arrange a tumble for yourself.
Yeah.
You can give me a break for a while from all this talking.
No, I'm good with a healthy knob.
There are 2 other ways that I've heard of people entering the city besides through the gate. One, I know to be true because I've spoken to people who've done it. The other, I'm not sure if they were only bragging or if it's true because I've not seen it for myself. However, some people have been able to successfully climb the walls after dark and to sneak in after the guards pass. It's difficult and can only be done in small numbers at a time. But if it's timed correctly, when the Bergen Friedensmilits pass, it can be done. However, people have been caught before, and again, they are taken away and never seen again. The other way that I've heard, but not seen, there is rumored to be a smuggler's passage somewhere to the north that passes into the city under the walls, tunnels, as it were. Again, I've not seen these tunnels myself. I've only been told as such by certain men that I've met inside the Hornbach. I will be there later, though, and I could ask for more information, perhaps.
And what time? What time? Did she say what was it? The guards come out and we could slip in
at dusk.
At dusk, okay.
The guards come out. The gates only open at 11. They close at 11:30, and then they're open again at noon. And then they close again shortly thereafter. But if you mean
he's talking about climbing the
walls, well, yes, just you could try it during the day, but well, then I would say you may have a death wish, or maybe not a death wish. The Miliciaires seem to be non-violent. They just subdue the individuals and take them for re-education. What that entails, I have no idea. Perhaps it's quite pleasant. It sounds pleasant, doesn't it? Maybe if I had some re-education, I wouldn't have to turn tricks for money. No, it's not worth getting arrested.
I want to ask her. Do you know any people who have been re-educated at Goblin Hill?
I knew a girl who was arrested at the gate because she had a dagger.
And have you talked to her since?
No, I've never seen anyone who has been arrested again. None of them returned, but this is all very new. It's only been 10 days since the Seven took over the city. And rightly so, I say. Hail Satan! By this point in time, about 20 minutes have passed, and you're thinking, at this point, Marius, you're like, oh, I must be 2/3 the way through the crowd at least. And you look up, and there's now like 200 people standing there waiting for their turns.
Ooh. I baptize.
You're going to be here all day, my friend.
I stand there all day.
What a reward. Even if you should. Yeah.
This is something that was not in the book. I never thought about the possibility of converting the refugee camp to Protestantism.
I'm building an army against the witches.
So,
are you trying to tell me the adventure writers seriously didn't think that someone was going to try and convert everyone to Protestantism?
Well, they can't cover everything. It's only 180 pages long.
But I mean, it's a pretty obvious choice, right? Why wouldn't they put that in?
I mean, if they weren't wanting people to get baptized, why put a river nearby?
Yeah. Why'd they put that there?
Well, if it weren't for your own outstanding heroics upon your arrival at the refugee camp, it probably wouldn't have worked anyway. But
it's a miracle.
The difference between him converting hundreds of people and him getting burned at the stake is basically comes down to you volunteering to help the family out for free, and Jasper beating the shit out of the lad's tough. That's made all the difference so far.
Well,
you guys acting all heroic and stuff. It's almost like you've done this before.
I guess that's the path.
So, one more thing before I leave your company. As loath as I am to do so, she says, batting her eyes again at Diggory, who for some reason she seemed to be really smitten with Diggory, even though he doesn't have any money. She says, please, if you do try to enter through the gate, don't take any weapons with you. You must be sure not to.
Well, thank you for the advice. We shall make sure not to. And like I say, maybe we'll see what this bar you mentioned later on. Well, what did you say your name was?
Her name is Frida. Frida, who I'm putting in my notes as refugee whore. She's not ashamed. She's making a living. She's well fed and cleaner than most of the people you see in this camp. Well, with regards to the weapons, she says, you have to be very, very careful, sir. A small knife you might get away with, but a dagger is always a weapon. Even a walking stick or a staff could be the difference between you getting into the city or you going for re-education.
Well, we should certainly keep that in mind. Thank you very much for the advice.
No crowbars, no clubs.
I understand.
Are you telling that to all of us?
Yeah, I'll be relating this as she's talking.
Well, I hope to see you tonight then at the Hurenbach.
Indeed.
Good luck.
And you, take care.
And she saunters off into the crowd.
What a thoroughly pleasant woman.
Hail Satan.
One of the Prince Bishop's guards / sailors now approaches you now that you're not involved with any of the locals. And he's going to go right up to you again, Diggory, since you seem to be the spokesman for the group so far. You did not tell us that your friend was a heretic.
It never came up.
I see. And you? Where do you stand on this? Are you a Lutheran as well? He spits.
I think I can assure you without a shadow of a doubt that I'm not a Lutheran.
Well, the Prince Bishop will be informed of everything that occurred here today.
Oh, quite right. Quite right. I would hope that when we are successful in our mission, that would, despite my friend's lack of judgment, that would stand us in some favor.
Indeed, it may be the only thing that can.
Splendid.
He spits again and he turns and walks back over to the stands where they're still selling food for 7 times the normal market value.
Well, that didn't seem to go well.
No, the refugees are trading everything they have, giving everything they possibly can to get some food.
No, it seems the Prince Bishop's men have taken a dim view of Marius's particular version of the faith, and obviously they're planning to report what they've seen back to the Prince Bishop.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, yes, quite. I was sort of expecting that anyway. I'm only surprised it's taken them so long to mention it.
So they shouldn't go back to the Prince Bishop.
Based on the crowds you see gathered by the river, you're pretty sure that your friend Marius is going to be tied up for a couple of hours now. Unless, of course, any of you want to go and, abduct him or whatever. It's up to you. But would you guys want to take a quick 5-minute break?
Yeah, gather my thoughts.
Refreshments, etc.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, we can figure out what you want to do from there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
Back in 5.
I will turn off my camera, and I'll turn it back on once the actual play resumes.
Hallelujah.
Right, my body has returned.
Yep.
Is my sound still okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Cool, good.
So, with all those new Protestants, we should storm the city.
I don't think they have
Well,
much of a chance.
you're still talking about like maybe a couple hundred to a few hundred refugees storming a city with a few thousand people in it.
Yep. God is on our side. Deus vult.
That's protected by 7 witches and 7 demons.
It's God's wish.
They could make a distraction.
Yep.
So one more time, it's zum erleuchten Horrenbach? Horrenbach.
Zum erleuchteten Hurenbock.
Zum erleuchteten Hurenbach, yeah?
Hurenbock, yeah.
Hurenbach. Goddamn. Zum erleuchteten Hurenbach. The enlightened whorefucker.
Yep.
This is why I never got that far in my German studying. It's so hard to pronounce.
Well, I have so many problems with English words.
Erleuchteten. That's the one that keeps really tripping me up. Erleuchteten. Wait.
Erleuchteten.
Yeah, erleuchteten. Yeah. I'm just going to call it the Hurenbach from now on. Okay, so Austin's back. I know John's here. Jens is here. I'm here. So it's Philip and Felipe. Wait. Philip, Felipe, and Merrick, yeah. Looks like Merrick's back. He unmuted himself anyway. You there, Merrick?
Oh, I double muted myself and I forgot to
Okay, cool.
mute off. No wonder my interjections were making nobody laugh.
Yeah.
All right, I got to remember that.
It's not just that they weren't funny.
No, they weren't funny. They weren't funny.
That they weren't funny and we couldn't hear them.
Yeah, you got it. I got to remember. Just pick one mute and stick with it.
If you hadn't been double muted, you might have at least elicited a pity laugh.
Right? Oh, well.
Hey, I accept pity laughs. It's better than no laughs.
Indeed.
If it's no laughs, I just assume you didn't get my joke.
Right.
So, it's still funny. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're waiting for Philip and Felipe.
Oh, Philip's back.
Oh, Philip's back. We're waiting for Felipe, who I can physically see is not back because I can see his window.
Right.
Yes.
I was going to say you're doing better than me, man. I can't see anyone's video at the minute.
Why is that?
Absolutely no idea.
Oh, you just can't see shit because
No,
Hangout sucks.
Yeah, pretty much. Literally all I can see from everybody is like your icons. And that's like it.
Oh, yeah. Pretty much. I mean, most of us are only using icons.
Yeah, I don't have a video camera.
The only person who has video on right now I see is you and Philip. Or, sorry, Felipe.
Yeah, I had to turn mine off because the internet was being crazy, so I turned it down to the audio only.
Ah, right, I see. That's cool.
I have camera on once I want to do this, for example. But I don't want to do that yet because we're not resuming play yet.
Who do I sound like? Is it Austin?
No, you sound
like Merrick?
Kind of like Merrick. Yeah, you guys have a
really?
very similar timbre to your voices.
Interesting.
I think it's really just kind of it's just like pitch and volume or whatever, But
it doesn't sound similar in my head at all.
Yeah.
But I can't hear myself like you guys can. So.
I can easily tell the difference, but I've known Merrick for over 20 years, so
there is that.
But when John mentioned it, I realized, you guys do have very kind of close voices, close.
Now I just want to hear them like both say the same line or something, just to compare.
All right, the line is "Zum erleuchteten Hurenbach."
God bless you.
Exactly.
Gesundheit.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, no, I can see it.
Since
what part of the country are you in, Philip?
Georgia. I'm from Florida.
Okay, yeah, you guys are not even remotely close geographically, so.
Nope.
Where are you from?
Chicago.
Ah.
I spent a little bit of time in Florida when I was in the Navy, though.
But in fairness, I don't pick up any of the South in your accent, Philip.
Yeah, Florida's not very south.
It's about as south as it gets.
Yeah, but
I know what you mean. It's not like Alabama.
Yeah,
right.
North Florida's pretty southern, but like
I'm from Ohio.
Miami is like
Ohio gets
New
pretty
York
south.
/ Puerto Rico / Cuba.
Right. Not fair enough.
And everything in the middle is just a giant mixed bag.
Florida and Ohio are pretty much the same, anyways.
Well, I think 25% of the people that live in Florida are from Ohio. So.
Yeah, they all retire there.
Yep, unless you're in South Florida. But then again, South Florida is Key West, and it's still, again, from Ohio.
And not really southern. Yeah. No, fair enough. I'm demonstrating my ignorance about Florida. Shit, I haven't been there in 30 years, 30-some years.
How'd you end up in Ireland?
He's a mail order groom.
Yeah.
Nice.
I met a girl.
Cool.
That's what I tell everybody. It's a mail order groom. Come, marry American. Take him from the country.
All right. So is that everybody back then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thought you were about to eat the camera there, Felipe.
I'll turn my camera on, and we are ready to resume.
Jasper, we're going to have to let those ships loose and let the lads in. Oh, wait, I got to resume. Are we resumed?
We are resumed.
Are you eating it out?
I'll sidle over to Jasper after those guys leave and say, we're going to have to let their ships loose. So that they can't get those merchants and such. Maybe leave them at the hands of the lads.
They would shoot those lads for breakfast.
There are 8 merchants and 32 decently armed and armored guards.
Yeah, I'm not messing with that. And they got nothing to fear from those people who call themselves the toughs of the crowd here. If that was the best they had to offer that they threw against me, then...
That's true. Well, I mean, like I said, there goes our 15,000.
10.
10. It was 10.
Oh. Yes, I don't think we should be back to Würzburg.
Yeah, no, I don't trust that bishop guy anyways.
So, then we're agreed that we're not trying to kill these witches?
I don't know about that. If they try to kill me first, and I'll do my damn best to put them in the ground.
I no longer have the incentive to put my life at risk to kill witches, and if this is this may be the safest place while Gustav's army rages south.
Indeed, I'm still in favour of the plan of the two of us going inside and seeing if we can get some advanced intelligence of some sort.
What about this kid, though?
Well, yes, obviously we need to deal with that as well. But that's the benefit of only 2 of us going into the city. You see, the rest of you will be free to deal with that.
All right.
And after all, we have
party. Oh shit!
After all, we have more than one of us who can speak the local language.
True.
Indeed, like half of you speak the local language, so.
We don't know how many brigands there are, though, or kidnappers.
No, that's true. But since I'd be of little use in a fight against such ruffians anyway, I don't see that there'll be a great reduction in the group's fighting ability by not having me present for that.
I'm pretty sure it's the lads that are behind that, anyways.
In which case, obviously, your prowess has already been demonstrated. So
I wouldn't mind having a go at one of them with a proper fight either.
Indeed.
I'll be like, well, since I'm leaving my weapons behind, I don't want to leave it with anybody that would possibly die. Both of these guns could be loaded with the shot. That could help you with any overcrowding.
I wouldn't mind holding on to one of those for you if you need someone to take care of it.
Yes. Please take great care. I almost drowned saving these.
Very well. I will keep them very preciously.
Yes, if I could leave my weapons with someone as well, I'd be grateful.
What were your weapons again?
Well, I have and I sort of take out of my belt. I have a small dagger here, and yes, here's a short bow, and then I sort of roll up my sleeve, and I've basically got like a garrote wire wrapped around my arm that I unwrap and go, and there's this, of course.
Armed to the teeth, but doesn't fight.
Francis will reach out for the garrote wire if no one else takes it.
Yeah, I have enough weapons.
I do too. I mean, I can hold your dagger for you while you go in.
No, thank you.
If somebody wants to take the bow, though. I'm already loaded up with a crossbow.
No, we can put it with the cart.
Yes, that's fine.
But I mean, who are we going to leave the cart with?
I'm not leaving the cart here.
So we're going to haul the cart to our ambush?
Yeah, shove it off in the woods somewhere.
Right.
Where is the cart?
We can take the cart in the city.
It's right next to you? You unloaded it off the boat?
Of course.
Well, if we're going to take the cart into the city, we then can't leave the weapons on it.
That's true.
Oh, that's what you were going to do? You got the animal.
They were suggesting leaving my bow and some other sundries on the cart.
Well, you got the nobles that could watch it, or all the convertees of the Protestant faith.
I have the feeling that if we leave our stuff behind for someone to watch, it's not going to be here when we get back.
Yeah.
Not even the newly baptized?
Yeah, I wouldn't trust any of them with that.
Yes, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's baptism, and there's the need to make a quick profit and eat. It's all very well receiving a blessing, but you'd be surprised how quickly someone can forget something like that when inconveniences like starvation rear their ugly head.
We could sell our extra weapons.
What about Heinrich and Maria? I think they would be willing to watch your things while we venture for their boy.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, and then we come back to find out that the lads have stomped them into the ground and taken it anyways.
Perhaps.
I have no doubt. They have no liking for us. They'll do whatever they can behind our backs.
Diggory, with your advanced intelligence, you hear the words of Jasper, and you think, right, there's a reason why they used to be wealthy.
Yeah.
Well, yes, indeed, and they obviously they've obviously got a poor grasp behind Rick and Maria of keeping hold of their own money and their own possessions. I don't see why they should be any better at keeping hold of ours, to be perfectly honest.
They
Will
could
you be
even keep
taking-
hold of all of their children.
Will you be taking Marius on this crusade?
Seems pretty busy right now. I wouldn't mind having him along, though.
Yes, I mean, feel free to take him with you. I mean, assuming he's finished feeding the 5,000 or whatever it is he's doing.
His crowd doesn't seem to be growing anymore. You reckon he should be done before half day, anyway.
Oh, good.
Before midnight.
This may not be a popular idea, but I just want to put it out there. We could wait one day. I'd like to observe the coming and going, see what happens before we attempt it ourselves. That way we could potentially all go try to retrieve what remains of the boy for the grieving parents, or soon to be grieving parents. Then we could try to enter on the morrow.
That sounds like a good idea to me.
Although
I agree.
I'm quite fine with that if that's what people want to do. Although we then would have the problem of, if we're all going in, where do we then leave all of our weapons?
We would have to smuggle them in or something.
We
The other
could
idea.
still try the sending 2 in for one night, while the rest of us guard the weapons, or several in for one night while several stay outside guarding weapons.
Okay, so what? So if I'm correct, what you're suggesting is we all go and deal with these ruffians, and then we, after that's dealt with, a couple of us head into the city, and then we'll scope the place out, as it were. I think that sounds perfectly reasonable to me. I'm still quite happy to be one of the first 2 heading into the city. As I say, I have a little skill in combat anyway, so.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. I can't guarantee that I'm going to have good intentions heading across that bridge anyways, if they can still read such a thing.
Well, I may be able to cross then if you're unwilling. I may have a chance. I currently just want protection inside those walls.
It's always good to have a wall between you and an army.
Frida talked of finding that other entrance. More
It's
information.
an option. We can scope that out on the way back. Dealing with we get a good location for that.
What about all the weapons that must be at Frog's Hill?
Goblin Hill.
Oh, Goblin. Right.
It's all right. It's an easy mistake to make with the translation.
That's what, 10 miles from here?
Yeah, give or take. Yeah,
Close to it, yeah.
10 miles south.
It's a good portion, but about a third of a day's journey northeast on foot.
Oh, I thought you said south.
It's south of another town.
Yeah.
No, it is southeast of another town, but it is northeast of your current location. Southeast of Hammelburg, I think it was called.
Mm-hmm.
But it's northeast of Karlstadt.
All right, so then what's the plan? We're going to sit here, watch the... we'll let Marius finish up his thing, watch the exchange of peoples, and then go kick some skulls in?
indeed. I've still got the piece of paper with the roughly sketched map that Maria and husband Heinrich gave to me, so we know where they're supposed to be dropping off the money and making the exchange. We can watch the guards come out, as you say, and then we can make our way there and lie in wait until these miscreants turn up.
You certainly do have that, and you could try to gain more information about it if you wanted. while you're waiting for your friend Marius. If you wanted to start to ask amongst the refugees here in the camp.
Yeah, I'll probably ask around, just not specifics about like the people who have like snatched the children, but just trying to find out a little bit more about the. Obviously, it's a very rough sketch map. Just trying to sort of find out a bit more about the actual like layout of the land and what like the sort of the features are like, etc.
Sure.
Basically, with an eye to like where are we going to be lying in wait? You know, we want to try and sort of approach it a little bit tactically, I suppose.
So you're asking around for a little bit, but by about nearly 11 o'clock in the morning, you finally come across somebody who says, that looks to be, yeah, my family farm was not far from there. I believe that's the old Broschk, Braasch, Jens, Broschk. That's the old Broschk family farm. Yes, they were a very, very hard-working family. They used to always send
you say were.
Yeah, they would always send their second sons out as soldiers and priests. Eventually, over the generations, the family pardon me, sorry. Excuse me. Roll me a saving throw versus poison, please.
Okay. That is a 15. My saving throw against poison is 13.
Okay, good. Yes, they eventually the family elders came to be looked upon as pillars of society.
As he's sort of coughing, obviously, as he's spluttering over, I'm just going to.
He looks obviously very sick.
I'm just going to like raise like a sort of like handkerchief or something similar up and cover my face as he's sort of like.
They gained some influence in the local community. Oh, pardon me. Sorry, I can't seem to shake this cough. Sorry, I got some chunks on your jacket there, sir.
No,
don't worry, it's just a bit of lung. Ugh. I am old. I'll die soon anyway. Oh, maybe a generation, not quite 2 generations back. Oh, the neighboring families, they became suspicious of the Broschk's continued success. Suspicions become accusations, and eventually the community turned on the Broschks. The men were lynched for practicing witchcraft, and the women and children forced to flee for their lives. Their old home was abandoned, and the lands were subsumed into the neighboring farms, my family's farm included.
I see.
It must be abandoned 30 plus years by now.
And tell me, what is the land like around this Broschk farm?
Well, like any other. Fields and trees.
Well, thank you very much for your help.
Of course. Excuse me. You wouldn't be able to spare a couple of copper, sir, would you? Maybe even a silver or 2?
I'll give him a couple of copper, and I'll be like, I'm sorry, that's all I have.
Oh, yes, hard times. They've stricken us all.
Yes, quite.
Sorry about the stain on your jacket.
Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
And he kind of hobbles away. Jens, Marius, your character, has finally finished his baptisms. You reckon you must have baptized nearly 250 people.
Okay,
it's been a glorious day.
It was a glorious day, but he's pretty tired. He comes
of course,
to the
that's
others.
still less than 10% of the entire refugee camp, but yeah.
I tell them that they have to spread the word of the Lord, and
give them the rest of your pamphlets.
Yeah.
I don't think you had 250 pamphlets. So
No,
I imagine you're out by now.
I give them the rest, and I return to the group. Ah, what a glorious day! The Lord is truly on our side. What have you found out about the city?
Well, we found out that the guards come out, and apparently the one of the witches is capable of telling whether anyone has any weapons or ill intent. Those who do are taken away and never seen again, and those who don't are allowed into the city.
And as you say, so the horn blows and the gates begin to open, and people are being let out of the city.
Ah, yes, there we go. You should see it happening now. We're planning on sending a couple of us into the city later on, but in the meantime, we have a matter of a man called Heinrich and his wife Maria. Their son Heinz has been taken by some manner of ruffians, and we're planning on going and dealing with them quite harshly.
Oh, this is a good thing.
Indeed, I thought you'd approve.
I'm in.
How involved are those other guards and merchants?
The ones from Würzburg?
Yeah.
Like, as in, how busy are they right now? How engaged are they? The merchants are very busy. The guards, not so much. They're passively kind of standing there, looking around, keeping an eye on the crowds, keeping an eye on yourselves. But nobody's really giving them any trouble, because even the boys, the lads, Brian's boys, seem to fear the guards from Würzburg. They don't mess with them. In fairness, they are probably, aside from maybe Jasper and Albin, who's actually pretty well armed and armored, they are the most well armed and armored people in the camp.
What are my odds of being able to sneak and cut their boats loose?
It's not going to be good because it's daylight. They're very close to the boats. Yeah, it's going to be really poor. You can still try. It's going to require, I would say, to cut the boats loose, it's going to require 3 stealth rolls per boat. Yeah, 3 stealth rolls per boat.
Mm.
And there's 2 boats.
That's death.
And that said, too, the river's not that big. If you cut them loose, they're not going to get too far before somebody notices. And they'd probably be able to recover them. It'd be good for a distraction, but you don't think, like, they're not going to lose the boats.
No, it wouldn't just drift down the river.
Sorry about all the racket my cat is currently making. She's gone insane.
All right. That was my thought.
Burn the boats.
Burn them.
Right. Burning them would be another story. You could set them on fire. I think that would require only 2 stealth rolls per boat to do so without being noticed. Of course, once the first one catches on fire, that's going to be noticed pretty quickly. Yeah, it could get pretty dirty. You'd be looking at a fight, possibly with 32 heavily armed Imperial guards.
Yeah, not a good idea.
Now, granted, I mean, nobody said you had to fight fair. You could just run into the crowds and try to avoid them. What's a few dead refugees to a bunch of scoundrels like yourselves?
Mm-hmm. Well, there could also be a distraction. Some other start a scuffle with the lads, see if they get involved.
Yeah, you're not too bright, are you?
No.
Yeah, sounds like a great idea to you. Are you vocalizing this to anyone else, or are you just thinking this all in your head?
Thinking it in my head right now.
Okay, cool. Good. Yeah, you think you can pull it off? You can burn these fucking boats. Yeah, I just might need somebody to hold them off for a couple of rounds while I burn the second one.
I just need somebody to distract them. Some kind of distraction.
Jasper could hold them off for a couple of rounds.
I want to make a psychology check. I'm kidding.
And certainly that other one, Francis, he was looking for a chance to prove himself. You'd be granting him that chance. After all, I mean, yeah, there's 32 of them, and they've got good armor and good weapons, probably as good or better than any that you have. But does that mean that they're necessarily good at using them? No, not necessarily. They might not even know how to swing that damn sword.
I'm going to go with I'm going to need help, and I'm not so good at convincing them to go along with my plans. They never go along with my plans.
Hang on, be right back.
Uh-oh. Run, Luna, run!
Okay, sorry. So, what are y'all doing? People are leaving the city now. If you look at the bridge, you'll see there are about 24 of the milizionari, which are the guardsmen, on there. They're basically keeping the refugee crowd from forcing their way across more than anything else.
On our side of the
Yes.
river? Okay. About
Francis
how many
is
people are coming out?
Sorry, one at a time. Francis, what?
Francis is just watching the proceedings, trying to notice who comes out and what their general demeanor is, and then who's overwatching them. He's just kind of watching the entrance to this city with rapt attention.
Pretty much all the people you see coming out are coming out with sacks or backpacks or satchels, whatever, full of goods, full of something. They all seem pretty happy, and once they start to disperse into the crowds, they start selling food and drink and stuff for crazy high prices. But people are willing to pay because people are starving. And you see people starting to line up, to try to get into the city. At this point in time, it's nearly about 11:30, so the gate closes. And the mercenary are lining everybody up, telling people to come in single file for those who wish to enter the city. And they've already begun to start searching the people at the front. They're searching their persons, they're searching their bags, anything, to see if they're carrying any implements of destruction will not be tolerated, they say. Anyone attempting to bring weapons or armor into the city will be arrested and taken back to headquarters for re-education.
Well, if you did want to plant a dagger on someone, now's your chance.
You can see Frida is very close to the front of the line. She's ready to go. She's got a big smile on her face. She's got a big fat pouch full of silver that she's fucking made off of the people here.
Well, I'm not going to be the one who's able to do something like that. If we want to do it.
Let's just try that, Garrett.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's easier to palm onto somebody.
Do you have that, Garrett? I'll find somebody else. Some other poor sap. Not Frida. Frida's our information girl.
Francis will pull it out of his pack, look at it for a moment, and then hand it over somewhat reluctantly, or hesitantly, but give it to you nonetheless.
Okay, let's find a sap.
Okay. Yeah, you find some guy. You can try to sneak it into his bag or something?
Does it look like any of the lads are entering the city?
No.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, give me a sleight of hand roll.
Sleight of hand. Oh yeah, this isn't that.
1d6.
Let me see. Hold on a second.
Where the hell's
I
your
want
group
to
sheet?
put it
There
in
it is.
something. Figure out what I have on myself.
Sleight of hand, you have 1 in 6 chance of succeeding at this.
Yes, I do. I was hoping to go for stealth. Oh well, whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, you want to roll stealth to sneak up on him before you roll sleight of hand to stick it into his bag?
Sure, let's do that. Yeah, well, good warm up. Good warm up. Got the 3 out of the way.
All right, he doesn't even know you're standing behind him, about to try to use sleight of hand to slip a garret into his bag or his
Yes.
pouch or something.
5.
Whatever. 5. He just, hey, excuse me, pickpocket, pickpocket.
Sorry, run away.
Okay, you can run off into the crowd and disappear and get lost with the garret.
What? I didn't put it in there?
No. On a failure? No.
Well, I obviously wasn't stealthy about it, but
Nope.
okay.
You still have the garret in your hand, you realize, after pushing your way through the crowd. Oh, give me a constitution save as some guy throws up on you in the crowd.
Oh. Is this a
Spits up a
D20?
bunch of black, like, looks like old blood.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's D20, poison save.
Hey, I got a 20.
Sorry, I said constitution, but poison save. Yeah, boom, okay. You keep that shit out of your face. It just gets on your jacket, whatever you have.
All right.
Would he even notice? I'm kidding.
Good thing my cloak is waterproof.
Anybody who is paying close attention will realize that he failed to slip the weapon onto the gentleman before he had to run away.
Damn it.
Oh,
Now's
Phil,
your chance.
roll odd or even.
Odd?
Roll and even the odds for me. Roll.
Okay.
What'd
Odd?
you roll? You rolled odd? Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right. Moving on. Continue with the side quest. I mean, the distraction. I mean,
It'll be a while before you can work your way back up to the front. Don't worry.
Yeah, the noble thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where are these lads, anyways? I kind of wanted to scope out the.
See what they're up to.
We'll look for some of them. I mean, they're kind of moving around the camp, basically in groups of usually around half a dozen at a time. You see at least. You've identified at least 3 of these groups, so you know there's got to be at least maybe 18 of them or so.
Mm-hmm.
But they tend to stick around in little gangs of 6 or whatever. Just kind of pushing people around, taking things when they want, you know.
No headquarters?
No headquarters. It's a refugee camp.
But they don't have a central tent.
Not that you've noticed yet, but it's daytime. Everybody's moving around. Everybody's on the go constantly right now.
Well, I want to keep an eye on that.
Okay.
Other than that.
Anybody else try anything before, or anybody trying to cross the gate to get into the town because they're starting to move?
No, not me. Mm-mm.
No, I thought we were just watching today.
Yeah, that's what the consensus was. Is that
Cool.
Yeah.
Just double check.
not going to split the party this time. We'll get some information and maybe scout out, see if there's a tunnel up at the northeast or.
Let's see here.
So you can cross the bridge when they're done with the tunnel, or no? You'd be stuck in the moat, right?
What?
Could you cross the
We're
river?
talking about tunnels. And
Huh? You said
the bridge is always there.
Okay. But I'm looking at all this moat stuff, and it looks like you'd have to cross some moat in order to go around the city at all.
Oh, you mean aside from going across the bridge and through the gate? Yeah, you
Right.
cross a moat. There's only one gate, and it's across this bridge.
Other than that, a boat. Okay.
Well, no, not a boat. A boat's not going to make it across. A boat's not going to make it. A boat could across a river, But crossing the moat, you're not going to do that in a boat.
No, let's talk about crossing the river to go northeast because we heard about a tunnel, right?
Oh, yeah, on the north side of the city.
On the north side of the city, there's supposed to be a tunnel, yeah.
Yeah.
But we're going to have to get wet to get to it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just keep moving around since I'm on the move now, I'll just keep getting a lay of the refugee camp.
Okay.
How big is it, you said?
Philip, roll me odd or even. What do you want? Odd or even? Tell me.
Even.
Philip, not Felipe.
Oh.
Odd.
Okay, roll.
Here we go. A 1.
So you rolled odd. Okay, cool. So as they're letting people across, there's about let's see, 27 people total get accepted. Okay. You see a couple people that they're being searched by the militaires at the end of the bridge, and they have to give up certain items. That could be seen as weapons. So basically bludgeoning weapons, knives that are too big to be just utensil purposes, things of that sort.
Sure.
And then they start to cross. One of the last ones to come across, and you'll see the watcher come out and take her seat.
Yeah, I was going to ask, are they getting searched before they cross the bridge?
They are, yeah, they are.
Okay. And then when they get to the other side?
So when the watcher comes out and takes her place, that seat at the top of the gate, I actually have an image for her. Let me see here. I need to pull this up. And where's the watcher? Here she is. This woman.
Wing.
Oh, really? Well, whatever trigger.
She's a Christian.
Damn, I'd like to see her ankles.
So one of the first things you notice is that she is very visibly Catholic. She's got all the rosary beads and the crucifix and everything, which is interesting because you've been told that religion is illegal inside Karlstadt. It's been outlawed, as well as warfare. But yeah, so she sits there, and then floating up beside her as well, you'll see this 7-foot diameter cubical 7-foot cube, basically, kind of floating up beside her. And you can see it looks to be like kind of gelatinous. It looks like a big cube of jelly with lightning striking inside. And I'll even put a little image quickly here for you on that. Just give you kind of an idea as to what it looks like. Except it's much bigger than that. In fact, yeah. If she's to put it more to scale, something like that.
Dear God, storm pudding.
Demon, demon, demon.
That is a demon if ever any of you've ever seen one. And the 27 who got allowed to cross are kind of gathering up in front of the gate, which is still closed. Her sitting above it with this thing floating beside her.
This is obviously a creature from hell.
Obviously, yeah.
No, Marius, I'm screaming this. This is a creature from hell. This is a demon.
Quiet yourself, Marius. Don't draw its attention on us.
And then I'm going to take this off now because I need to change my page, and I can't do that while I have the screen source thing on. But you got an idea as to what the creature looked like and the size of it. But then, close that. She raises a hand to stop, and you can hear this faintly from the distance across the bridge. Seal the gate. That one. And she points down. He tries to bring weapons and armor into the city of Karlstadt. Take him to Goblin Hill, she says. And the 12 guards start stomping across the bridge, and a bunch of the crowd of people also go along with them. And the guards go and they apprehend the one that she's pointing at. And you see they rip open his shirt, and you can see he's wearing a leather jerkin underneath. And they drag him down and they cut it off of him, and they tear this leather jerkin off of him, and they throw it onto the bridge. And the commoners, the people from the refugee camp, rush forward and start beating the shit out of this guy. And the other 26 people who are now not allowed to enter the city because of him join in. And they also start beating the shit out of this guy because he's just fucked up everybody's chances. The gate will not open today. And after the guy's beaten into bloody unconsciousness, they break it up. And then the militaire kind of drag him along back. Yeah, they'll drag him back through the refugee camp. And approximately a dozen of them will take him, and they'll just drag him through the refugee camp and start making their way out of the camp and around back to, well, I mean, if you're going to follow them, you might see where they're going, but they're definitely taking him away somewhere. At which point then the Watcher waves dismissively at the crowd on the bridge. The remaining 12 guards on the bridge will force everyone off of the bridge, and she will climb back down behind the gate back into the city with the floating eye following her.
Were we able to see the other thing, the fleshy demon?
Well, if
thing
you
behind
were
her?
looking for it,
I'm looking for it.
then you would catch a glimpse, just a glimpse.
Okay.
And you're not even sure if what you saw was real or not, but you think you saw something. And it, looked like an apparition, right?
So humanoidish?
No. When I
in
say
shape?
apparition, I mean simply in the fact that you're not sure if you really saw it. It was kind of, it wasn't corporeal.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's words there, but there's not enough to make anything out of. In a normal to size roll amount and the attack if yeah. So that's the glimpse you catch of the second creature. And it does look fleshy. And do any of you have any kind of medical experience? Probably not, no? You see there's eyes all over it, and these might be membranous wings, perhaps. But it's not entirely there, and it fades in and out of vision very quickly. Nobody has any medical experience, no? I presume. Okay. And that's it. You only catch a glimpse of it, and it's gone.
Oh, I didn't realize that if someone was, even one person was caught, that nobody was allowed. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, you weren't informed of that. That didn't come up. Oops.
That changes things a lot.
So if the whole city is following those witches and these demons, then this complete city has to burn.
And by the time this is all gone down, because you guys were paying pretty close attention, I assume, to all this. If you turn around and look, you will see that the merchants and the guards are already departing for Würzburg. They are starting to pull the ropes and set off. In fact, no, they were leaving. They were starting to leave as she was making her judgment, basically around the same time, right at midday. They haven't completely gone yet. If you want to try to catch the boat, but
Nah.
I'm not going back to Würzburg.
We're in Protestant country now.
You have about 250 Protestants out of 3,000 refugees. Just put that into a little perspective for you.
Give it 4 days.
Well, true. Who knows what could change in time. So what do you guys want to do now? It's lunchtime. And you guys haven't eaten anything all day.
We had breakfast, right?
No.
Oh, I guess
You left at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Guess it's time to break out them rations and chow down then.
Does everybody have rations?
We got rations, yeah.
Mark off a day's rations each.
We got those rations from the guy, right? Like 2 weeks worth or something.
Oh,
Well, he did give you some, didn't he?
Yeah.
I can't remember. What did I say? It was like I can't remember looking back at the video. Was it 10 days worth?
Something like that.
I think it was 5. Well, I don't know. I have 5 days worth that I didn't purchase, I believe. Oh no, wait, maybe more than that. Never mind.
I think it was like 10 days. That'd be
it was a week's. It might have been a week's worth.
Was it a week's? Okay, so 7 times.
I think it was a week's worth for everybody.
7 times 6, 42. Yeah.
Let's sell it.
Okay.
And get rich.
You had those where on the donkey cart?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's with the donkey and cart?
I've been with it the whole time.
Anybody?
Yeah, I've been with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I made sure to stay with it.
Good that it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been with us.
Good. So you can put down there that there was 42 portions of rations, or 42 days rations. Mark off 6. There are now 36 remaining.
Excellent.
Okay. So what do you guys want to do?
Let's go kick some skulls in.
Indeed.
So where are we gonna get a decoy
we got a
pony?
We got a donkey right here.
You've got a donkey. Yep.
True. Do we want to risk our own donkey?
Well, I imagine we'll get it back.
What's the plan here?
So was there any kind of along with the ransom, was there any like instructions on what time this was supposed to take place?
It just said to lead the donkey into the barn,
Mm-hmm.
tie it off with the money on it, leave, get out of sight for 2 hours, and then return.
So that means someone is watching the place.
Well, one would presume.
Mm-hmm. Which means that when we get there, we want to not have all of us be seen. And
What if we just walk there, and we're just traveling like we normally do, and we're like crossing this farm and checking out this farm, like they don't know that we're part of any of that. We could just be randomly wandering adventurers.
That's not a bad idea. Just we happened upon the farm looking for a place to stay for the evening.
Mm-hmm. Not bad.
And if they try to harass us or whatever, then or talk to us.
Perhaps we go
but why
in. We send a few of us in to see if there's anyone there, and a few to hide behind and ambush anyone we find.
Or we could search the perimeter for places where the barn is visible from, and see if we can find who's watching.
I mean, the fact that we'll be having a cart with food and a donkey ourselves would make us a target. I mean, we're not an unarmed target. We could make ourselves look more victim oriented.
Yeah, but they're going to know how many we
honeypot.
are, and they'll know to bring more than that.
Well, if how big is our cart? How many people could fit in it? Not in.
I think it's just a small cart.
Yeah, it's for carrying goods, not necessarily people.
Yeah.
I mean, if you take all the goods out of it, you could put a person, maybe even two in there. Be a tough pull for the donkey, but with two people.
Mm-hmm.
One person, we could manage, no problem.
Yeah, we could look like a victim, have two people in the cart.
I think
Where are we going to put our stuff, though?
Yeah, I think having two of us.
You're going to carry all your stuff, including those extra 36 portions of rations that you have.
That's what I said. Sell them.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's money. Sell them.
Do you want to sell them?
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
No.
No, I was just saying we should have two people accompany the cart and have everyone else kind of stay behind, kind of check out the perimeter and be ready to launch an ambush if anybody moves in on us.
Okay.
Like we do with the cart and just ready.
First.
I agree with that. I will agree with that.
Because if we can see who's watching, we definitely have the upper hand.
You just go out and try to take a peek at it from a distance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
How far is it from here?
It's about 8-9 miles.
Oh, okay.
It's going to take you about nearly 3 hours walking.
We're going north?
Northeast.
To the Frog Hill.
Northeast? Maybe I'm wrong. Hold on. Let me pull this up to double check. Maybe I'm mixing it up with the other one. Farmhouse. Nope. Northeast is the Goblin Hill. I lied. It's not that far. Where are you? You're in Karlstadt. You're going to... Sorry, it's northwest. And it's about 6 miles. So actually only a couple of hours. It's actually not too far off of the River Men. And it's kind of south of Gemunden am Main. Southeast of Neuendorf. Or straight west of Gossenheim.
Right. We could go visit another city while we're at it. Make him turn to that page.
Sorry, about 2 hours. 2 hours northwest.
All right, let's get moving.
See, we could sell our rations right here. We could go to Gundenheim, buy more rations, bring them back to these refugees, sell them again.
They might be more expensive in Gundenheim.
Oh, well, then we'll sell them there.
You won't have any because you'd already sold them here.
I guess we'll establish a trade route. Here we go.
There you go. You guys just trade for a few days until the Swedish arrive and kill everyone?
Yes.
Yeah, sounds good.
I mean, it sounds like what we're talking about, taking opportunity of...
They've only got like 20,000 or so soldiers, so...
Yeah. Fine.
Yeah. Okay. So you go out to the farmhouse. Couple miles northwest, so you'll be there by a little after 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Besides, I thought the witches were going to kill them.
Supposedly they are. Maybe they will. 7 witches and 7 demons against 20,000 Swedes.
Morale checks.
Taking bets.
I know. I don't know.
I honestly wouldn't know who to bet on.
True. Yeah.
I would bet on the 20,000. That's why I think that convincing the witches in the first place to feign their own deaths so that we get paid in Wurzburg.
So once you get there, You see, basically the road goes right through the middle of the place. There is the barn on the left side of the road,
Okay.
the west side of the road, if you will. The road kind of forks off. There's a well right there. So the barn is on the left side of the road. On the right side, where the fork is, it forks off to the right. That goes right up to the farmhouse. And this is all beyond the fence itself.
As we're traveling there, I'll say
back there as well, behind the well that you can see.
As we're traveling there, I'll say, well, it seems to me, if we had someone very like obviously going
any activity, it looks to be quiet, abandoned. As it was reported, abandoned. You know that the barn is on the left. That's where you're supposed to leave the donkey with the or the pony with the bounty. If
it seems to me if we have someone obviously
leave
money there,
is an old paddock fence, and it looks to be in pitiful shape. The gate is hanging open, broken on its hinges. The main grounds themselves are overgrown with wild grasses, and it's quite obvious the area has not been maintained in many years. However, the trail from the fence to the farmhouse door is clear, as if it has seen frequent use of late. Okay.
All right, so
looking at the tree beyond the well, from where you're currently set, like probably, I assume you're trying to be a little stealthy. The trees beyond look to be normal in all respects, as far as you can tell. Nothing unusual at all about them. The barn, which is again, like it says on the left side, is in very shoddy condition. You can't see into the barn currently from here, but yeah, it just looks really shoddy. The farmhouse itself looks to be deserted. You can see it's in considerable despair, starting to fall apart on the outside. You can only assume what it must look like on the inside. And that's about all you can see from out here.
Well, it seems to me if we have someone obviously go up and attempt to leave the money that they asked for there,
Chad, you broke up on me there. What did you say?
Well, it seems to me if we have someone obviously attempt.
Is that just me?
That's just you.
Yeah, okay, that explains that a lot better.
Yeah.
I was like, geez,
wow.
He's got like something against John.
Right?
What's going on?
1 second, guys. I'm having a sound failure.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I was like, wow, John, I don't think he likes you that much tonight.
Like, geez, Ian really wants to get through this passage. Holy
yeah.
That's it, man. I was like, that descriptive text just keeps on rolling, man. You can't stop it. It's like a juggernaut.
Yeah, so what you were saying, I like your because I was almost having the exact same idea as you, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, if someone's sending 1,000 silver pieces, they're not just going to have like one person walk off into the middle of nowhere.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to go on without my headphones. They seem to have completely died.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I can hear you through the speakers on the laptop. Apologies for the dip in sound, but we'll be wrapping this up pretty soon.
Fine. All I was suggesting is that if we had someone like obviously go in and like leave the loot, then retire and sort of leave as they asked us to, we then have someone like stealthily sneak around the back of the barn and like lie in wait in the barn. We all retire to a safe distance. Whoever's in the barn gives like a signal when they're in there. We all roll in. Deal with whoever's in there. Jobs are good.
And like just with along the same line of thought, if you're going to be sending 1,000 silver pieces out into the middle of nowhere, you're not just going to have one person do it. You're going to have some guards.
Yeah, definitely.
Watching that money to make sure it gets where it's supposed to go. So it makes sense to have a large group of people bring it out there, right?
Is there any way we could hide someone in the cart underneath the rations, perhaps? Make it less obvious. Try to reduce our numbers, and then they can kind of Trojan horse.
Also, there's plenty of trees around. I dare say someone could conceal themselves in the branches of one of the trees if they're an able climber.
Yeah. We could have been discussing this along the way, too.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you want to do?
All right. So we could, I guess, have someone hide in like, before we get there, maybe stash our stuff. Have someone hide in the cart, and then when they get inside the barn, they can get out of the cart and find a better hiding spot so they're not in the cart, so to speak.
Sure. So somebody's going to hide in the cart. Who's that going to be?
Somebody with a couple pistols?
Someone who's good at hiding?
Yeah, because to be honest, if we're on about like them giving a signal to draw the rest of us in, like 2 loud pistol shots is as good a signal as I can think of.
Yeah,
That's a pretty good signal.
Yeah, I can do that.
Sweet.
Okay, so we have volunteer Valdison is going to hide in the cart. Okay, who's going to drive the cart or walk the cart, whatever?
Francis will go ahead and walk the cart.
All right.
Okay, what's everybody else doing?
I'm going to stand around outside, look intimidating until Francis gets back.
So you're the guard.
One other person
Guard.
could one other person potentially come with to like help check out the barn, make sure that the barn is clear. Well, I guess actually Valdison can get out of the cart and help clear the barn.
I mean,
before he hides.
Does it have to be one person that goes up?
No, could be more.
Yeah.
What do you mean, like hiding in the cart?
No, only one's going to be in the cart, but we could be like 2 people walking the cart.
You already have 2 people. You have yourself and you have Jasper.
Oh, sorry, I missed that. Okay.
Okay, so we got to try to capture this guy, right, and interrogate him where the kid is, or we're just gonna follow him back?
Well, I'd suggest we capture him, we try and interrogate him, find out about the whereabouts of the child, and also his co-conspirators, as it were.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Perhaps fire one gun over his head and the next aimed right at his face. And
yeah, it just convince him to stay. Yep.
Indeed, and when we hear the gunshot, the rest of us can move around to the front of the barn and cut off his avenue of escape.
Mm-hmm. And we only need to keep one of them alive. Someone who looks like they're going to talk.
All right, so who's going? I know we've got Valdison in the cart. We've got Jasper as a guard, and I believe that Francis is leading the cart. Anyone else going?
I think
the rest hanging back a safe distance.
Yeah, I think the rest of us are hanging back.
Okay. So as you guys are making your way onto the grounds, you get you cross through the broken gate and start to make your way towards the barn. And suddenly you hear a very indistinct, ghostly moaning sound coming from the trees and the barn.
Mm-hmm. Ready my shield. Draw my sword.
Same.
I'll be like, give me that garrote back.
I'm gonna choke a ghost.
There's one thing you don't know about. I'll choke a motherfucker.
So, wait, the ones of us that hung back, we can hear this too, yeah?
You can hear it, but it's more quiet for you, whereas it's quite loud for those who are with the donkey cart.
Jasper, you hear that, right?
I hear that.
What is that?
See if I can locate the source of the noise.
Stay down, Valdison. Don't say anything. It may just be a ruse.
Seems to be coming from the barn and the trees.
And how, like, all around us?
Well, to your left and straight ahead, yes. Nothing coming from the farmhouse itself.
Look at the tree, see if I can see anything hiding in it.
No, you don't see anything. Must be ghosts. It does cross your mind that the family, the Brosks, whatever they were, they were kind of run out for witchcraft and being witches. So.
Yeah, but ghosts don't tend to kidnap people and send ransom notes.
That is true.
I'm going to load my crossbow nonetheless.
It's still nonetheless very unnerving.
Mm-hmm. Shall we proceed?
What do you want to do?
Let's there's more of it coming from the barn. Let's check it out, and that's where we're going anyway.
All right.
Come on.
Lead the donkey into the barn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, the barn is in shoddy condition, and these noises, some of the noises seem to be coming from inside of the barn. Sounds really loud right by the entrance of the barn.
All right.
Right. Is there like a big barn door, or is that like...
Yeah.
Okay. So Francis will push the door open with his shield, and kind of, sword first, start poking his head in.
I'll keep my back to him and watch.
So all the stalls
ground
seem to be
around.
empty. Although the place does have all the usual farm implements in poor condition. There is a hay loft with a ladder leading up to it. And there, like I said, there are stalls.
Check out the stalls.
Check out the stalls.
And I'll pull the door open and start leading the donkey in. And as soon as it's in, I'll shut the door behind it. All right, Valdison, come on out. There's a loft up there. Might be a good vantage point.
Okay, Valdison climbing out.
But what is that sound? Where is it coming from?
We're trying to find out.
Seems to be coming from the entrance.
But we're already inside?
You're inside, yes.
And there's nothing above the entrance.
Search the entrance. You find copper pipes embedded in the door frames around the entrance, and the sound is coming from them.
Is it windy out?
Not particularly.
Put my thumb over one of the holes.
The sound gets quieter.
What the hell is this?
Some sort of cheap theatrics. I thought
Okay.
that was our job.
Sneaking up there.
Up where? To the hayloft?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. As you start to climb up the ladder, it breaks under your weight, and you fall about 5 feet and take 2 points of damage. No, 1 point of damage. Sorry, 1 point of damage. But the ladder is now broken.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you a hand. I'll try to see if I can boost him up.
You can.
Yeah. To support, test the flooring. See if it's actually going to support me when I'm up there.
Seems all right. Yeah.
All right.
He's boozing you. He can only hold you for so long.
Yeah.
So when you get up there, instead of hay, you realize the hayloft has been filled with plant material. Leaves, light branches, grass of all sorts piled up. And 2 zombies rise up from under the mess, loudly moaning and swinging swords. What do you do?
Jump down.
They're like pale in complexion, and you jump down. Okay, what do you do? They're moaning loudly up there. You hear them getting closer, moving towards the edge of the hayloft. What do you all do? You all hear the sound.
What the hell is that?
Are there more pipes up there?
No, it's dead.
What?
I mean, I suppose if we have a word for zombies, yeah.
What? Get the hell out of here. Shove that door open.
Okay. Get out.
Grab the donkey.
Yep. Ride this
Drag it
donkey
out of there.
Pull this donkey out.
Yeah, get it outside and scream out, zombies!
Okay.
So that our companions can hear that. Undead!
Are they gonna jump down? What are they doing?
I thought you fled.
I mean, I'm watching. I got my guns, but I'm just still kind of like backing
They
out.
stay back from the edge of the hayloft.
Are they really convincing? Are they really zombies, or are they people in makeup?
What's your intelligence?
It's really bad. 6.
No, they're zombies.
Well, my wisdom's good. My wisdom's good. It's not magical, right?
Shoot it! I don't see
They're
that.
zombies.
Why waste the shot?
We have to burn the barn down.
Yeah. Burn down the barn.
You set the barn on fire?
Yep.
Okay.
Fuck yeah, man. You can't let that shit running around.
You start setting the barn on fire.
Mm-hmm.
And then what?
I call to our
I wanna start
companions.
I want to make sure that we start barring the door. Like, make it like try to see if we can bar it from the outside.
Make sure no zombie climbs out from inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I assume since like the rest of us have like heard them shouting zombies, we're going to be like closing in on the area.
Is that what you do when people start screaming zombies? You close in, or do you close away?
Well, given it's our friends, I like to think we'll sort of like move in rather than they'll just get there and they'll just be like our footprints heading away from the area.
Just checking. Yep. Okay. Sure.
I think we'll just set everything on fire, right? Whole house and everything needs to go.
Check the house. I don't know if we want to burn it first, though.
Why?
What if the kid's in there and he's still alive? Although that's doubtful, but
The barn is not burning.
Mm-hmm.
Are the as we're sort of like closing in on the area, they've said like zombies. Can we like see them in through the flames? How are they reacting? Or are they just sort of stood there on fire?
You don't see or hear anything. Now you just see the barn burning.
I'm going to be sort of looking around, trying to see through the smoke, see if I can see anything. But I'm like, I can't see anything. Are you sure they were undead?
Did we see them when they stopped?
Only
at the top?
Valdison saw them.
All right.
But you heard them.
We heard something up there.
Yeah. I'm burning them.
I'm going to start heading towards the house.
Okay.
What?
Sorry, go
Are there
ahead, John.
windows?
Windows on the
There are
barn?
windows. Yeah, there's windows.
Okay.
They're like curtained off. But
All right. Well, I'll walk up to one, smash it with my shield, and I'm not going to reach in, but I'm going to poke my sword in and sweep the curtains aside, and not without sticking any of my body parts in, and see what I can see inside.
you see a debris-filled room.
Go to the next window and do the same thing.
You see the same.
All right. Kick the door open.
Okay. You can walk on into the house.
Mm-hmm.
And basically,
Make sure I have an avenue of escape behind me. Like
you've got
really kick that
you've
door
got a
down.
deserted farmhouse, debris in all the rooms with the exception of the kitchen, which shows signs of frequent use. You see the fresh ash in the hearth, a large empty cauldron hanging over it. Neither the cauldron nor the number of pots and pans that dot the kitchen show any signs of rust. The implements need cleaning, and there are food crumbs on every surface.
Call out, Heinz! And then listen. Heinz! Nothing.
Nothing.
Get out of the house. And look for go around the house and see if there's like a root cellar.
One second. From outside the house, walking around. You don't see any signs of a root cellar. There's a well.
Shout down the well. Heinz!
Nothing.
And then listen. Well, damn, I was looking to stomp some skulls in. Instead, we just find some undead.
So are we burning the house as well, or?
Yeah, might as well.
I mean, the house seems fine. We could potentially stay here if we need a place to sleep.
Someone was living in there.
Well, I believe before we do anything, we should do a thorough search to see if the inhabitants have left anything behind. I mean, after all, at least this
thorough search of the house.
Yeah, I mean, after all, at least the kitchen at least has been used. They may possibly have left some clues elsewhere, or
what's your search?
Let's have a look. Mine's just standard.
1?
Yeah, mine's just a 1 in 6.
So, looking in the house, looking in the kitchen especially, you find there's a rug in the kitchen, and you find that it's nailed to the floor.
Okay, obviously I think that's odd, so I'll sort of like gesture to the others, and I'll point to like the nails where it's tacked into the floor.
Mm-hmm. And yeah,
grab an edge of it and rip it up.
There's a trapdoor underneath of it.
Good eye.
I rolled a 1.
I'll jam my crowbar into the trapdoor and try to wrench it open.
No problem. You reveal a ladder leading down into a cellar.
Before we do anything, can I step to the front door and see if I can hear any sound, noise, moaning, screaming, anything coming from the barn fire?
No, nothing. And the barn is well burnt by now.
Okay.
It's collapsing in on itself.
All right.
Are we going down?
Yeah, sure, why not? What's the worst that can happen? Hordes of undead?
You see it leads into a dark cellar.
Anybody got a torch?
I have a lantern.
Yes, I've got a lantern as well.
And I don't speak German, so if any kind of vocal threat I kind of talk about, let's hurl some oil down there and just burn it out, isn't going to go over whatever's head's in there unless they speak English.
What's your plan of progression?
I would go first. I got the best protection.
With a torch or a lantern, I mean?
Well, that's true. Well,
I mean, can we see anything from the entryway with the lantern shining light in there? Like, how far down does it go?
It goes pretty far down, actually. It's
Does anybody have rope?
Oh wait, no, hold on. It's only, it's only 10 feet down.
10 feet. All right. Well,
that's doable.
Let's light a torch.
So yeah, you can see the floor down below. Sorry, I thought it was further. It looks further in the illustration. It really is. So looking down, you can see a large table surrounded by a number of chairs. There's a rack with some jackets and boots lined up around it, and other outdoor clothing. Yeah, and that's what you can see from here. The table itself, has like some half-eaten meals on it, some dice, coins, and cards.
How old do those meals look? Like freshly abandoned?
Yeah.
Someone hightailed it.
Are there other rooms off of this room?
You can't quite tell too well from up here. You have to climb down to the top.
All right, I'm gonna head down, and then I'll just kind of keep guard at the ladder until someone with a lantern can come down behind me.
Yeah, I'll follow down afterwards, lighting my lantern as I go down.
Okay, so you're going down first there. Which room? Sorry.
I'm going to keep an eye on the cart and the donkey. I'm going to go to the front door and kind of watch the donkey.
Yeah,
okay.
Stand guard above too.
Diggory, you're going down with Jasper?
Yeah, I'm going to be following behind him, sort of holding the lantern up so the light's like shining over his shoulder. So it's coming from behind him. Hopefully that way as well. If anyone does try and jump him, they'll be sort of facing directly into the light, so it might disorientate them a bit.
Francis and Alban have gone back out front to look after the cart and donkey. What about Marius and Valdison?
I'll search the perimeter.
Which perimeter?
All around the yard to see.
So you're going to go back outside and start walking around the house? Okay.
Yeah.
And Marius, are you still with us?
He's been taken. The rapture has come.
He's found a water butt outside and he's like blessing the local farms people.
Right. So as you climb down the ladder, Jasper, just as you hit the bottom, you hear a cry, and you turn and see 4 men charging you with weapons drawn.
Oh boy!
Oh yeah!
Whip out my sword and hoist my shield up.
Excellent. I think that's a good place for us to stop this session for the night.
Nice cliffhanger.
And we'll start in media res with session 3 as you're attacked by the bandits at the abandoned farmhouse.
Nice.
And we'll see if you can manage to save poor Heinz or not.
All right.
Awesome.
Nice. Good stopping point.
So let's keep in mind here that we've got, let me just double check here. We've got Jasper and Diggory in the cellar. With 4 bandits.
Yep.
Nice.
We've got Francis, Alban, and Valdison all outside.
Not outdoors.
Well, at least at the door.
I'm out. I'm outside.
You might as well be outdoors.
Oh, okay.
You're not in the house per se, proper. Not if you keep an eye on the donkey and cart. You didn't bring the donkey into the house, not with the cart, no.
No.
And we got to find out where our friend Marius is. I assume he's probably inside, but we'll find out for sure when we pick up in session 3. Thanks for playing, guys.
Sweet. Awesome.
Stop the broadcast there. It is the 9th of the 10th month, and it is at this point in time, took you a couple hours to get out here. So it's about, let's say 2:30 p.m.
All right.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, cool.